but for Long Island. Two schools just about 10 minutes apart, arch rivals meeting for the 43rd time. Well, hi again, everybody. I'm Barry Landers, joined by Bob Rule on a magnificent day for lacrosse. And Bob, two teams that know each other well. What can we expect this afternoon?
Well, I'll tell you, last time they played, Adelphi felt they were a little too conservative. They ran a zone defense that allowed Post to throw the ball around, play their kind of game. Today, what Adelphi wants to do is up-tempo their game. I think you're going to see a lot of run and gun, a lot of offense today.
Well, Post came from behind to win that last meeting, 9-8. They were down 8-6 with a couple of minutes to go in that game. Speaking of Adelphi, they're a club that has some terrific talent on offense, and they've got a midfielder by the name of Anthony Piccone, who's a dandy.
Well, Anthony Piccone's got attackman statistics. He is a terrific, gritty midfielder. He's their face-off guy at 68%. He's got over 50 points. He's going to come up big today for Adelphi to have a good chance of winning.
Now, Mark Mangan is another star, a young man from Australia who can light it up. He is a guy that is number 2 in the nation in Division II in scoring. You look at CW Post, this is Tommy Postel's perhaps his best team since they've gone down to Division II. They're loaded, they're deep, and of course they've got a very talented attack led by Todd Bolognese.
Well, look at Todd Bolognese. He's almost Anthony Piccone's like on the Post team. He is a gritty, tough attackman. They want to get the ball to him in big situations. He'll dish it out. He'll score. He'll do anything it takes to win. At the end of the game today, he'll be spent. He'll give it his all.
Well, perhaps the winning team will be the team that is hungriest today, that wins the battle of the ground balls. And our colleague, Jim Cavallo, returns with a chat with both coaches. Get set for exciting championship lacrosse coming up next.
For NCAA Division II National Championship Lacrosse. Jimmy Cavallo standing by with our two head coaches. We start with head coach from Adelphi University, Sandy Capitos, in his 5th year. And coach, this is becoming commonplace for you. 4th time you guys here. You've lost the last 2, but let's face it, getting here is an accomplishment in itself.
I think it's a credit to the staff and the kids that we have in the program. They've worked very hard over the years, and I think it's a sign of some consistency in the program, and I'm proud of the kids and proud of my staff.
When you look at your team right now, an outstanding year, but one blemish you can look at, the loss to CW Post, a game you guys led by a couple goals late. Did you guys get out of Adelphi Lacrosse in that game and do some things, maybe slow it down you weren't used to?
Well, I don't know if we got out of Adelphi Lacrosse. I know that we did some things defensively that tended to slow the pace of the game down. I felt it was something that we needed to do to deal with some of the offensive firepower that CW Post has. And I mean, if I, again, would have thought that we'd have held them to 9 goals, I would assume that we would have come out with a win, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way.
When you look at your opponent, you know Post plays defense with some of the best lacrosse programs ever. What's the strategy today for attacking these guys?
Well, I think we have to control the ball. I mean, I think face-offs are going to be a key. We need ball possession, and we need quality sets when we do possess the ball on the offensive end of the field.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Going for his 2nd national championship as a head coach. We turn to CW Post. Coach Tommy Postel, a CW Post Hall of Famer, 13th year. And Coach, for you too, you were here in '96. You won it. You're back again. An outstanding year for you guys.
Yeah, our team did a nice job this year. We ended up 10-1. We had one loss up at Rochester against Nazareth. We had a young team the year before, since the last time we were in the championship, and we felt that we would be a good team this year.
You know, out here in New Jersey, New Brunswick, and it's really a Long Island flavor, this game. It's for the bragging rights. We know about the proximity of these two teams. What do you think about going up against Adelphi for this national championship?
Well, it can be anyone, okay? This year it's Adelphi. Adelphi and Post go back a long time. They've really dominated the series. You know, we enjoy playing them, okay? They offer an awful lot on the field, okay? And it stresses our team to a certain degree to play a program like Adelphi, but we think we're ready.
When you look at this Adelphi team, kind of an up-tempo, showtime style of offense, they can really score. You guys have one of the best keepers in the nation, one of the best defenses in the nation. What's the strategy for Post today?
Well, we're not going to change our defensive strategy. We play man-to-man, sloughing man-to-man. We support, we reduce, we back up. We try not to get too spread out. And they talking about changing the tempo of the game and running up and down the field. That's fine too. You know, Sandy made a good point. It's the key to the game is controlling the ball. Both teams have to control the ball. You got to possess the ball. So, you know, we know their weapons. They know our weapons. The kids have to get out on the field and play the game.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, Jim.
That's the Hall of Famer right there, Tommy Postel. We are just moments away from NCAA Division II. The national championship is coming up next. Come on back.
they're actually pretty cool. Professors are interesting, and I'm learning a lot.
Well, if we take the internet and tie...
Started the co-op job I got through the Career Center. Great experience. And I get paid. Tons to do on campus, having a great time. I told you, you should have come to Post.
The choice is clear. CW Post, Long Island University.
Uncompromising.
All Lacrosse stores. Come visit one of our 4 locations in East Meadow, Hauppauge, Huntington, and Manhasset. If you're looking for a lacrosse stick, come in and customize one to your specific needs. You design it, and we'll create it in under 1 week. We carry the largest inventory of lacrosse equipment on Long Island. When it comes to lacrosse fashion, Lacrosse Unlimited stocks the most complete selection of shorts, shirts, hats, and sportswear. Nobody services the lacrosse community like Lacrosse Unlimited.
Back at Yurcak Field on the campus of Rutgers University, the NCAA Division II Championship. The Adelphi Panthers and CW Post Pioneers for a big crowd here at Yurcak Field. Rutgers home soccer and lacrosse field. You see the Adelphi Panthers and the CW Post Pioneers getting set to go. How about that post attack?
Okay, if you look right now, they're very well balanced, but Bolognese is really the heart and soul of the team. They want to get the ball to him in really key situations. Chamberlain, however, is their point guy. He's their quarterback. He'll be the guy who really directs the offense.
Well, it's a goaltender's delight when you've got a defense that they've got, CW Post, the best in Division II coming into the game today.
And it's a real surprise because he graduated 2 All-Americans last year. These kids have come in and meshed great with Fredericks. And I want to point out Fredericks' 68% average, which is terrific at any level. This kid is the best goalie in Division II, and he's facing a kid who thinks he might be the best Division II goalie in Kaluza, who's very close. This could come out, too, what goalies are.
We'll take a look at the Adelphi starting lineup, and, of course, on attack, they've got a dandy attack right there, Tower, Maselli, and Mangan, and midfield's also excellent. Flaherty could be a key in this game.
Yeah, Flaherty didn't do much that first game. He's got a real hard outside shot. If they shut down Pacone, they got to go to Flaherty.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the matchups in this game. The last time these two clubs played, Adelphi tried to slow the pace down, played a zone defense. It was successful for a while. Then Post was able to come away with a come-from-behind victory, 9-8, scoring 3 goals in the final quarter.
Well, one of the things that Adelphi feels, they get a little more depth. On a hot day, you run a zone, it goes to the advantage of the team with less depth. I think what you've got out here now, if I'm the coach, I'm saying, if at the end of this game you have anything left at all, you haven't played hard enough. This is for all the marbles right now.
Well, these two teams know about playing in championships. The 3rd time they've met for a national title. Adelphi's 4th straight year in the national championship. They're like the Buffalo Bills a little bit in football.
But here's an interesting thing right now. They're running 2 long sticks on the midfield. They really want to get the ball. If not, they want to play defense starting at the midfield.
Anthony Pacone facing off. And off the bat, illegal procedure. Our referee, and we've got a dandy crew. We'll give you the officials in just a moment. But right now, we're underway right here.
Yeah, and David Kelly's going to mark Pacone. Wherever Pacone goes, Kelly's going to be right in his pocket.
So we'll set the lineup for you. And the first shot goes wide of the goalkeeper, Vin Fredericks. And ball battled for, and finally coming up with it. And a very alert keeper, and that is Vin Fredericks, number 1 in the nation. And now they'll look for transition here. Post got a lot of depth. They'll like to push the ball up if they can. We'll set their lineup for you. Number 5 is Luis Gonzalez in the midfield with number 10, Dave Loyacano, and number 32, Anthony Santa Maria. And on attack, it's Bolognese 3, Jaworowski 17, and Gavin Chamberlain 23. A lot of weapons out there.
What I like is their balance. That's right. If you shut their attack down a little bit, they've got a midfield that can score. That's what I like about this Post team. They've got good balance on offense.
Now Post working the ball unselfishly. Cross feed. Luciano's shot broken up in front. Calusa with the save.
Now Calusa's a linebacker playing goal. He's got that big body, kid from Garden City, and had a good position on the ball and made a nice save.
Dave Loyacano, number 11, with 17 goals. And now Adelphi looks to clear. Sean McCormick, number 37, trying to get it across. Ball loose. Both teams are used to playing on grass. This is just a beautiful field, and just couldn't ask for better conditions.
Rutgers has done an absolutely outstanding job of getting this field in great shape for a game. You could not play on a better field than this anywhere in the world for a lacrosse game.
So we'll see what Adelphi can do offensively here. The guy to keep an eye on is, of course, number 3, Anthony Pacone, along with number 23, Mark Mangan. And that shot from the outside whistled wide.
Now, little thing, Scott Janko is a converted midfielder, converted attacker playing midfield. He played the shooter then with a stick on the wrong side. You want your stick upfield, so if he dodges, your stick's in the way for a shot. Wasn't that way then.
Mangan, who had 3 goals, 2 assists. The last time these two clubs played, checked there. They're going to pay very close attention to him.
Almost, and Mangan's got to stop forcing the ball. He had 3 men on him. He's got to pass it if he gets a chance.
Low, hard shot by Charlie Flaherty, the lefty. And the save made by Vinnie Fredericks. And Mark Ford has joined us. And Mark, former assistant coach at Rutgers and now with Shamrock Lacrosse, your early impressions.
It just seems that they both want to establish their own tone. They're getting all their nervousness out, and they're looking to try to establish some type of tempo. Right now, there's a loose ball. Here we go.
And both teams a little bit nervous right now, playing before the big crowd. And right now, Post picking up that ground ball. The winner of ground balls could be the winner of this game.
That's the old coaching cliche. Pick up a ground ball. Whoever picks up more ground balls and wins more face-offs, generally it translates into ball control and more offensive opportunities.
Well, this is Loicoano, number 10, going behind. Coming around, got checked. Good defensive job by Dan DeBetta, number 24. One of the things that Tommy Postel likes to do is to try to create matchups against the short stick.
Exactly.
So he had Luis Gonzalez inverting there, number 5, who is one of their principal offensive midfielders, as he went behind as we look at Greg Calusa. And he is quite a young goaltender, number 2 in the nation, out of Garden City. Second team Nightcap right behind his opposite number on the other end, Vinnie Fredericks.
You know something? If I'm second team, what do you think I want to show in the field? That I should have been first team, especially in a game like today. That's what he's trying to do right now, show that he's good. That's competition. That's what you want to do if you're a goalie.
Mark, how about the ride here? So we see the
They're doing
goalie.
They're doing a little drop back ride. Not much pressure on the ball at all.
Yeah, they're trying to prevent a fast break. They get back. If you make a mistake, fine. If you don't, you're not going to beat us on a fast break.
This is Chris Babb, number 2, who brought it down. Off to Flaherty, 41. We'll set the midfield for you right now. Rich Vizlaki, the second midfield unit. 2 of the 3 are second midfielders out there right now.
Well, he's a former high school teammate at Pacone at Lindbergh. A real hard-nosed ball player. Not much of a scorer, but plays great defense. Works hard with the ball and off the ball.
Transfer from St. John's. Of course, they dropped their program a few years ago. Had a fine Division I program under Bill Miltenberg. Now a little patience shown on the part of Adelphi. No score in case you're just tuning in. We've played about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule and Mark Ford, as Vizlaki will take his man behind, taking Ernie Thompson with a short stick behind.
And one little thing, look at Vin Fredericks, the goalie. He's a lefty. That is an advantage for goaltender because good shooters are used to shooting to the left side.
Babbs worked right into a double there. Good defense by the Pioneers. Loose ball. Flaherty trying to rake at it on the grass. And Flaherty will shovel it off to his teammate. This is Maselli, number 5, who's done an excellent job this year.
Back door's open.
Maselli, number 3 scorer with 28 goals, 41 points. And now we watch the brilliant Mark Mangan.
Mangan's problem is he only goes left-handed. He will not put his stick in his right hand. Ooh.
Well, he hit the post there.
On a backhand. How many backhands do you see in lacrosse? That's more like a hockey shot.
Ernie Thompson leading the fast break, the 6'2 sophomore from Farmingdale, as he brought it down. And the pass goes right by his teammate, and it goes out of bounds. So the Pioneers with an unforced error there. Charlie Jaworowski was the intended receiver of that pass.
You know, I think, Barry, one thing both teams have to do is move the ball around a little bit more. What they're doing is catching it, looking around, maybe making one dodge and coming out, and everything's allowing the defense to settle in. I think both teams have to move the ball around offensively, and then as Mark shouted out earlier, as a true coach would, all of a sudden the backside will get open. Get it to him.
That's right.
How about the ride again here, Mark, as we're seeing a little pressure and forcing Calusa to come up and play the ball a little bit.
He's shutting off the goalie right now, looking to make an errant pass. Here the guy comes back over the midfield line. Easy clear.
So Adelphi with possession in a scoreless first quarter. Looking to get on the board here. And as Babb was getting that shot, he had it checked, lost it out of his cross, and the ball goes back over. Right now to Adelphi. They'll put it in play. This is Picone, number 3. Anthony Picone, player of the year in the Nightcap Conference, coming in and scoring.
Nice
Anthony
move.
Picone with his 34th goal of the year, and Adelphi takes a 1-0 lead.
You got to remember, he's 5'9", 210 pounds. He is a bull. And then he just beat David Kelly the inside. What Kelly's got to do is when he rolls to the inside. Now watch this. He rolls to the inside. Kelly's got to use his body. He didn't use his body, and Pacone uses his strength. A nice low bounce shot. Bang, goal.
Oh, nice inside roll. The guy did not push him below the goal line extended. He had the angle and nice bounce shot.
That's right. He's got to push him behind with his body. A guy like Pacone is going to drive right through your stick if you try to stick check him.
That's going to be a matchup that we'll watch all day. David Kelly, who normally plays against the attackman, playing against the midfielder. Right. And Kelly, perhaps in Tom Postel's judgment, is the best that he's ever had since they've gone to a Division II program.
Well, he's got it, and it's a best on the best in effect. That's what we're talking about right now, because Pacone is their big threat on offense. If you can control him, Mangan doesn't get the ball as much.
Both players know each other well from high school on Long Island. Pacone went to Lynbrook, and of course, David Kelly played with that great Bethpage team, coached, of course, by our good friend. And a shot and a save there. A.J. Hogan played on that team.
Well, like a solid day for Syracuse. A lot of good players.
Broken up. Adelphi with it again. Scramble. Mangan in the middle of it. And they score!
22.
Talking about the loose balls, picking them up. They pick up there. Rich Vizlaki, I believe, is the man who scored. And Adelphi, the ever alert. No, check it. It's number 26. A little tough to pick up from our view. And that's Brad Ross. Brad Ross, a junior, with his 8th goal of the year.
Ball's on the ground. If you're a defensive player, you're supposed to knock guys down and check sticks. Ross picked it up, threw really a screen right off the crease. If you're defensive players, knock the guy down. Check his stick, knock the guy down as soon as the ball hits the ground in front of the crease. That's why. It's too dangerous.
Ross, another Australian, who came over with Mark Mangan, and Adelphi scores again. Anthony Pacone right off the face-off, and the Panthers, looking to avenge their loss earlier this year against CW Post, take a 3-0 lead, Bob.
Right off the face-off. There's where Pacone is the most valuable player. Not only does he win 68% of his face-offs, but he's he's the leading scoring midfielder. I said before, he's got statistics that most attackmen would love.
But Bob, no slide. No slide. He stands up. Somebody's got to take body there.
Exactly. They haven't bodied the last 2 goals. Both times Post has not bodied the attack, the person who's taking the shot.
And Tommy Postel will take a timeout right here. So Anthony Pacone has lit it up twice in the early going. He was held to 1 goal the first time these two clubs met. And Bob, we highlighted Anthony Pacone because we felt this transfer from the University of Massachusetts perhaps could be the best midfielder in Division II lacrosse.
I absolutely think he is based on what we've seen. But the important thing is Pacone never even has to score a goal, and he's still a terrific midfielder. You win 68% of your faceoffs. You play tough defense like he does to pick up ground balls. You're still valuable. Throw that scoring in, and he is devastating at this level.
I think you're going to need an adjustment on the faceoff. Whether you bring a wing guy in to take body on him, let's change his game up a little bit so he's not going to go down fast
exactly.
break score.
The first faceoff, they used 2 long sticks on either wing, to, in effect, giving up maybe the fast break on offense to prevent the fast break on defense. That's what I think they've got to do.
One of the things that Tommy Postel pointed out in talking about Vinnie Fredericks, he feels obviously his numbers speak for themselves. He's got the best goals against, best save percentage in Division II. But at times, he lets one in early, and it seems to, hurt him. But he does come up big in the big game.
You know what I always think? When you're a goaltender, you want to make that first couple of saves to get yourself into a rhythm. Now, he made a good save in the first one, but now he's been rocked for 3 quick shots that were good shots, and the ball's gone by him.
Well, he had 16 saves in the 9-8 win over Adelphi.
Note this, that both post wingmen are playing on the defensive side of the field to cut off the fast break. You'll note that the Adelphi guys are playing across, one on the offense, one on the defense.
Good point, Bob. And on this beautiful field, able to pick it up easily, scramble for the ball. And Gonzalez will try to get it, runs into his own teammate, and a procedure penalty.
Now, there's a mistake you see in high school. The rule is, for people not familiar with the game, is until one team gains control in the neutral section, you cannot cross that line where that N is on the NCAA if you're a defenseman or attackman. The post attackman ran over the line before there was possession. Possession was called, so Adelphi gets the ball. Not a good mistake.
Our referee is Scott Boyle. We'll give you the other officials. The umpire, Tommy Abbott. Tim Murray, the field judge. Terry Cullen, the chief bench official. Tom Holland is the penalty keeper, and Jim Carroll, the timekeeper. An outstanding crew working this NCAA Division II championship game. Good feed on the crease, and they score again. Chris
Nice
Babb
play.
off the beautiful feed from behind the cage.
It goes back to what Mark Ford said. Mark says they found the backside. You move the ball quickly, find the backside before they slide. Bang. Very good shot against a lefty goalie.
Quick back to
Now watch it. Look at that. The backside. Look at that. Good shot. Far side. He had enough time to pick it up. Mark Mangan to Chris Babb. Excellent play.
You know, they talk about Mangan just his scoring. He's got 42 goals, but he has 28 assists.
Right.
And that was a beautiful setup right there. Let's check in with Jimmy Cavallo right now.
You know, gentlemen, I had a chance a moment ago to listen to Tom Postel, head coach of CW Post, as his team now trails 4-0. Of course, his problems are with his defense. He was all over his defensive guys. He says, Adelphi is beating us to every ground ball. We have to get more aggressive. Defense is what we do. He said, gentlemen, when they set up offensively, our outside guys, we must attack. Come on, guys. This is why we're here. Back upstairs to Barry.
All right, good point. Right now, the Pioneers have the ball, Mark, and what do you look for them to try to do? Show some patience to set up a good scoring opportunity here?
maybe just move the ball around, get the nerves out a little bit. You don't want to just stand around. You may want to go make some cuts, some picks, get some movement in the offense.
All right, Scott Janko, number 11 out there. Swings it behind. Out there right now, number 23 is Chamberlain. Back to Janko, had the game-winning goal the last time these clubs met. The only shot he took of the game came off the bench and won it. He'll remember that for a long time. On the crease, trying to get the shot off, but it was blocked, was Charlie Jaworowski, Bob.
Now look, too, I look at Adelphi's defense. They're a little bit bigger than Post defense, and they're a little bit more physical.
Brian Tower trying to go cross cage with that feed, but Fredericks anticipated it, broke it up.
It was nice because he was wide open. Fredericks doesn't knock that down. We've got a
Delayed penalty.
We've got an offside call coming against Adelphi here, so it's a free shot.
If he gets it, doesn't hit the ground, or he doesn't go out of the box. This is where the teams fail a lot of times, I think. You have a free shot, work to get that shot off.
On the crease, he had a man there, but the pass went behind Todd Bolognese, and now the 30-second penalty will go into effect. And as far as man up is concerned, CW Post operating at about 27%, which isn't all that good, 19 for 71.
And it's interesting. Tom Postel is one of the greatest attackmen ever to play this game, and he was absolutely devastating on man up when he played. Take it from me because I played against him, I know. So you would think they'd be a little bit more efficient.
Let me correct that. It's going to be a slashing penalty, a 1-minute penalty. And we didn't see the initial penalty. We saw the flag drop, Bob.
Yeah, I thought it was offsides. I thought the guy had skipped over the line.
Adelphi man down has done a terrific job, almost 81% kill ratio. Only 17 goals given up and 87 shorthanded chances.
Looks like they're in a 2-3 zone right now.
Gonzalez has an outside shot, has got a cannon, number 5. They'll work it behind on the wing. Up top, Gonzalez. Pass broken up. Good job again by the Adelphi defense.
You know what I saw? Post was very mechanical then. They were saying this is what we do rather than adjusting as athletes to what Adelphi was running as a defense, and Adelphi just picked that ball off.
Mark Reeves did a nice job clearing it, number 42. Still a man down. Of course, the new rule this year, in the past, if you got it in the box, the penalty would be released, but now it's still in effect.
I don't quite understand this. They should double the ball and try to get it back because they're going to be up man, and they're down by 4 goals.
David Kelly trying to force a turnover. Did he go out of bounds? No, a timeout call.
Nice timeout by Capito. Sandy Capito's the coach of Adelphi, realizing that, look, he's up by 4 goals. He doesn't want to lose the ball and have them score while they're a man down. So he gets the ball behind now. He can reset his offense.
Well, Sandy Capitos knows what it is to win. He worked under Paul Daugherty, and of course, Paul Doc Daugherty, what a great name in lacrosse. Adelphi has had some terrific teams.
What I love is that in Garden City, there were 2 Doc Daughertys.
Yep.
The coach at Garden City High School is called Doc Daugherty, and the coach at Adelphi for many years was Doc Daugherty.
Mark, you surprised. I mean, we saw a big surprise in the game yesterday. Loyola falling behind very quickly to Maryland. A real blowout to start the game. Here today, we're seeing the same thing happen in the Division II championship.
Same thing, and when we were at the quarterfinals last week, we saw big runs, 8-goal runs by Princeton, and I think that's what you're going to need here. CW Post can't panic right now. They have to make their own run, get back into their game plan. It's very early. There's a lot of time left.
And they got a lot of guns out there. As you said, that's a good point, Mark. You usually get runs in lacrosse. The key is if you score 5, only let them score 3 when they run. Don't panic.
Well, the Pioneers won the national championship 2 years ago against this Adelphi team.
Let's not forget yesterday, too, Healy was in the goal for Maryland. Manhasset
where did
boy.
he come from?
Manhasset kid.
Bob Rule, who coaches at Manhasset. Good job here, and a shot wide. Excellent job by Picone to beat the double.
And Picone beats it with really sheer strength. He goes between both of them.
So Picone
draws a slashing penalty, too.
And that will give Adelphi a man up. They operated 24%. Not that good. 17 for 70.
But you know what I like? Capitos is saying, all right, it's the last game of the season. I'm going to give it to my best player whenever I can. Picone's got 2 goals. He just drew a penalty. He's faced off, won a couple of face-offs, including that fast break where he scored. He's doing everything right now.
Todd Postel serving the penalty, the coach's son. So it'll be interesting to hear the comments later. Right now,
the second one. Seth Tierney also plays for Princeton for Bill Tierney.
Mark Magan working behind, quarterbacking the club right now on the wing. Up top. Off to Flaherty, who has that hard left-handed shot. Good job by the defender to block it. Timmy Fagan, number 30.
You know that, Barry? Underhand, wind up 3 times, try to shoot, finally gets blocked. Got to get that shot off quicker. Better to be quick than get more velocity on it.
Anthony Picone has scored twice so far in the early going for Delphi. Ross the other goal along with Babb. Flaherty makes it 5-0 with an extra man goal.
And he just rocketed that ball weak side and nobody picked him up. No one slid out.
So the young man, a transfer from Herkimer, who played at Sachem High School, comes up with a rocket here.
Now watch this. They're going to find the backside, which is what they're moving the ball around nicely. He gets it. Now nobody's moving for post right there. Nobody. And bang, he just beats the guy with a good shot.
It was a replay of the shot prior. You would think they'd have an earlier slide coming up on the
So Charlie Flaherty with his 23rd goal. He's had 9 goals in his last 4 games. Talking about guy hot at the right time. And the depth of Adelphi, stunning post. It was post this year looking at a club that had so much depth, but
you know something, Barry? They beat these guys by a goal earlier. I don't care what you say. It's very hard to beat a good team twice in the season. The post guys see it in the back of their mind and saying, we can win. We can win. We beat them before.
Well, Flaherty coming up with goal number 5 on the extra man situation. 4:05 to go here in this first quarter. And Adelphi stunning CW Post 5-0. Post has got to change the momentum. Santa Maria, number 32, with 13 goals.
Now, I only think they've got 1 shot on goal. I think early on, Kaluza made a save. I can't recall a shot since then, beginning of the quarter.
Looks like they're changing up their offensive set a little bit here.
Again, they're trying to take the short stick behind. They've got Brad Ross defending on the short stick. Good look in front, but a good check from behind as that shot was taken.
Now, I'm watching Adelphi with a lot of confidence, especially defensively.
Well, Chamberlain got that shot off. Just as he got the shot off, he was checked. And on the ball, Mangan kept it alive on the field. Goosed up. And Gonzalez now for the Post Pioneers.
You know, it's the little things, Barry. I'm not quite sure why Kaluza gave the ball away then.
Another forced pass. He was trying to get it to Bolognese. And again, Adelphi winning the battle of the ground balls. Here's Flaherty on a fast break opportunity. Off to big Brian Tower, the 6'4", 225-pounder. A freshman out of Hicksville has had a fine season. 20 goals. He's a finisher. And this is number 10 working the ball for the Adelphi Panthers. Brian Tower dropped it off now. Well, they'll play a little keep away here. Work the clock. Anthony Saccone, number 15, junior out of Port Washington in the game right now. Transfer from Nassau Community. He's a Brahma Bull, and he'll try to beat his man coming around here. Very strong kid. Gets the shot off. And Vince Fredericks, who had the best save percentage in the country, who's given up 5 goals already when he only gives up 6 a game, made a save there that he had to make.
A good save, too. A good low shot, but he's a lefty goalie. They threw it right into his stick, which is why it's nice to be a lefty goalie.
Looking for something here. They need something to change the momentum. Chamberlain is 23. He's out there on the attack now with Jaworowski. And this is Todd Bolognese drawing a penalty. And it'll be a man-up situation as the penalty will be assessed, I believe, against Sean McCormick, number 37.
Got a hold. He got him up in the face. That's really what you teach an attacker. When a defenseman gets a little bit behind you, sticks a stick in front of you, try to drive through it, and invariably try to hold you. That's just what happened now. It's a good play by Bolognese to draw that hold.
Well, Post needs something, Mark, for it.
They really do. This is a key man up. Last time, I don't even know if they got a shot in the man up. So
actually, yeah, what ended up down the other end, and Picone drew a foul, and Adelphi ended up scoring. So it's got to be a little less tentative. Move the ball around, look for a shot.
Scott Jankow is a guy that they might go to. Working it behind now. Loyacano, number 10. Good-looking senior from Ridge out of Longwood. Pass again. They're not sharp. And again, Adelphi picking up that loose ball.
That pass was deflected on a nice play by the
Dan
defender.
DeBetta rifles one with a long stick. And that would almost hit a window in that car.
On the other,
hit the tailgaters.
The far parking lot.
A few of those tailgaters maybe have to stop drinking that beer and pay a little more attention.
The fenceman's dream. You come down and ram that ball.
Flaherty will swing it behind. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule, Mark Ford, NCAA Division II championship deflected out of bounds. It'll still stay in the hands of the alert Adelphi Panthers with 1:27 to go. If you're Sandy Capitos, you couldn't have designed it any better to start this game this way.
Yeah, the interesting thing is you don't want to give this up. It's all fire right now, and then you start playing not to lose and conservative. And Post has got the offensive the power to come back again on you.
Well, again, remember that Post came back trailing 8-6 late in the fourth quarter to beat him. 9-8 the last time they played. So right now, Adelphi looking at the clock with 1:10 to go. Flaherty working against Kelly, who picks him up. And he gets a shot. And hustling to the ball. Adelphi, good job that time by Chris Babb.
Now the question then is, was that a shot? I'm not quite sure.
Not much angle.
He had no angle at all. He came in right-handed, and I kind of got to goose it over the top of the goal.
They have numbers.
And they'll go to the cage here. Good save by Fredericks down low. It's another shot and a score. So denied once. He comes back with the goal. Rich Bizlocki. He was stopped once, came back on the rebound, and he now has made it a stunning 6-0 lead for Adelphi.
Barry, we talk about ground balls. Twice now on the crease. It's Adelphi picking up the ground balls and scoring goals. There's Bizlocki. Terrific play. I mean, just a real hustling type of play.
So Rich Bizlocki scores. And, you know, we talked about the depth and balance. You got Ross and Babb and Bizlocki, not your big scorers. Right. They have 3 of the 6 goals.
But they're gritty, you know, Barry. Again, ground balls can be everything in the game. And right now, Adelphi's picking up all the ground balls.
Face-off one
and
again.
Good job. Gonzalez could not win that face-off. Picone won it. And once again, this is Chris Babb. A transfer from St. Andrews, a Division II school down in North Carolina. And we get a whistle.
Now, what you see there, people not familiar with the game, that's a push without possession, which means if the other team picks it up, you lose control of the ball, which is what happened then.
Post down with time running out. 22 seconds ago, a disastrous first quarter. Gonzalez forced wide against the defender, number 44. And that was Keith Lohmuller.
10 seconds.
Down to 9. Trying to come around now is Loicoano. And that will go down to 2 seconds left here.
Here's what you do, Barry. Everybody gets on the crease, feed the crease. Hope maybe draw a foul or a quick stick. Can do it.
And that will do it. So the Adelphi Panthers look like Panthers in that first quarter as they storm the Pioneers.
And the Pioneers look like sheep, I'm telling you right now, because they just did not play their game.
After one, Adelphi 6, CW Post nothing in the NCAA Division II championship game. We'll be right back.
The New York Lacrosse Academy has been teaching boys and girls ages 7 through 17 in winter, spring, and summer at convenient indoor and outdoor facilities on Long Island. Our program is designed and taught by individuals who excel at working with youngsters. Students are grouped according to age, size, and skill level. The New York Lacrosse Academy is dedicated to giving every player a fun experience with maximum professional and personal instruction. Call Bob and Barbara Schwab at 628-3305 and let your child have the experience of a lifetime.
Along with Bob Rule, Mark Ford, back here at beautiful Rutgers University, where the second quarter is underway. And let's see if the Post Pioneers can answer back. Well, Tommy Postel's club down 5 and now 6-0. And look at Adelphi, how aggressive they are to the ball, Bob.
Well, the interesting thing is I think Post has got to play with more intensity, and Adelphi's got to keep up. Look at ground balls. Adelphi 15, Post 6, and that tells right there who's dominating this game. Shots, Adelphi 19, Post 5. I don't think Post had too many on the goal.
Opportunity for Post to try to get on the board, but they mishandle the play. Herrenkow, 25, was trying to get it off to Gavin Chamberlain, 23, and it got broken
Never
up.
got it. But you know what I like? The aggressiveness of post end. Pick up that ground ball and driving down. They know they've got to up tempo. They've got to increase the intensity both offensively and defensively.
No question
to come
about it.
back. The other thing we're going to talk about, Barry, a little bit, there's been a 20-day layoff for both teams right now. Maybe Adelphi had a little time to heal, a little time to concentrate on how to beat post.
Well, right now, Matt Ansey has come into the game. We'll pick up some changes for you. Adelphi with the ball. Matt Ansey has come in defensively for the CW Post Pioneers, number 39.
You know, another important thing, Barry, is this allows Pacone to stay off the field now. Here's a guy who does so much. Now they can keep him off the field and have him fresh for maybe the third and fourth quarter, a little bit fresher.
Richie Vislaki, who got his 5th goal of the year. A young man from St. John's who has done an excellent job as a complimentary player. Now they're getting a little bit of a warning here.
Right. Well, he's got 10 seconds to get in the box, so here he goes.
Flaherty, the lefty, swings it. Goal line extended. This is Mangan. Mangan coming around and scores with a left hand low shot.
Boy, a low drive to the far corner. I'll tell you, they are as hot as firecrackers right now.
Mark Mangan coming up with his first goal. He assisted on one earlier, and it is now 7-0 in a stunner.
Now watch this. He just outright beats his defenseman. Here he comes. Mangan takes it, puts it in his left hand. Now he is a good scorer. Comes around. He's a tiger coming around. He gets a half step on his defenseman, and watch him come around and shoot low. That's a great shot because he beats Tim Fagan because the goalie's got to keep the stick high. He drops the stick real quick and shoots to the far corner. It's very hard for goaltender to get to that ball. Good shot. But again, as Mark Ford pointed out, where was the backup? Where was the slide? There was no slide on Mangan. He's just too tough not to have a slide on him.
This has to be a stunner. 7-0 Adelphi leading, dominating this game. Again, these two clubs have played each other many times. Adelphi has dominated the series. But earlier this year, Post won, and 2 years ago, Post beat him for the national championship.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking and saying, I'm Post. I beat them before. I'm almost playing not to lose rather than win. It's a different mindset. Where Adelphi's coming in, and they're saying, we're going to beat these guys because we should have won the last time.
Well, right now, Adelphi with 2 minutes and 20 seconds gone in this second quarter with a commanding 7-0 lead. Babb falls, but he got the ball behind. Look on the crease. They were trying to go to the big guy standing in front, Christian Neuer, but it was broken up. And that ball, Kelly will chase after it. It'll die in the grass. Now the deflection, it'll go back over to Adelphi. So nothing going right.
Exactly, and that was a good pass really by Fredericks, and he just dropped the ball. Okay,
they had a potential fast break there.
Exactly. Louis Gonzalez just drops the ball right away, and when ordinarily I'm sure he'll catch that and goes.
And even David Kelly seemed to be able to get to that ball, and he kind of nonchalant. Well, maybe I'll get a deflection instead of trying to take command of that ball.
Well, I'll tell you, when you're down 7-0, all of a sudden your whole, I know it. I know when you're in a situation like this, it's very hard. It's discouraging. You're playing not on the balls of your feet. You're just discouraged right now. Post cannot buy a break.
They need like a big save or something to really energize them.
A save, they got to get a goal. I mean, no doubt about it. They got to break the ice offensively.
Well, Pacone got him started early with those 2 of the first 3 goals, and then some of the backup people started at it. Mark Mangan just made it 7-0. And speaking of Mangan, the brilliant Australian, who's a All-American candidate certainly this year, gets doubled, beats the double, got in. Fredericks with a shot. Saved that time.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, Mark. He really stood his ground, and Fredericks made a nice save. But now they're having trouble clearing the ball.
Back to Fredericks. Vinny Fredericks will try to clear himself. Gets up to midfield. Tries to feed an open man, but it's too high. Looking for Todd Bolognese. And Adelphi coming back with some transition.
Nice play, though, by Kaluza looking downfield. But why is he throwing the ball down the middle of the field? Fredericks is trying too hard.
Joe Buccello, number 8, got it across his teammate. I'll try to get the offensive unit on right now. Chamberlain, number 23. And Buccello, number 8, with it. He's a sophomore from Levittown. They've produced some outstanding players in the Levittown community. Off now to 17, Jaworowski. He's had a quiet game. He's their leading goal scorer with 26.
Here he goes.
Coming around, hit the pipe. I think I may have gotten a piece of it that time. On the good opportunity coming from behind.
He had a short stick on him, which was a smart play. But when things go right for you, everything goes right. You hit the post, You're the goalie, he beats you, and the post gets hit. The ball gets deflected, it's off the other guy's stick.
Yep.
Everything goes right sometimes for you.
Again, Adelphi super aggressive. Number 42 there was Mark Reeves all over.
And they're doubling and their post is not able to find the open man.
He was all over Loyacano. Good job again here. Jaworowski gets the shot. Handled easily by Kalusa.
Nice pass, a nice save by Kalusa. He's a big boy. 6'1", 200 pounds. He takes up a lot of the cage. He's made 2 good body saves where he's just in good position. The ball's hit him.
And he's, of course, replaced a 3-time All-American, Richie Grismer.
Who was one of the assistant coaches working with them.
So,
but Greg came from a great program, the Garden City program, which is one of the top programs in the nation. So, got good coaching at that level.
Well, no wonder year in and year out that Garden City and Manhasset in Nassau County are such outstanding clubs. You produce some great goalkeepers, both schools, the high schools. Right here, we're down to the final 9 minutes, 27 seconds. Opportunity in tight, but it's broken up. That was Maselli, and then rifled wide by Anthony Picone.
Well, I like the fact that they're just a little bit more aggressive posters on offense, but boy, they're still not hitting the goal. Why not bounce the ball when you're outside like that rather than shoot high where the goalie's strength is?
Getting inside Gonzalez, and he finally breaks the schneid.
And there's a simple defensive error. Check the guy's stick when the ball's coming over the top. Don't try to go over his head.
Well, Luis Gonzalez, the guy who got a huge goal to tie the score the last time these two clubs played, his 15th goal of the year for the former Sachem star.
Nice move, really nice quick face dodge. Goes back to his right hand and beats Kalusa clean. Nice play nice aggressive play by Gonzalez right there.
He beat Dan DeBetta, who was a terrific young man who transferred from Hofstra.
And that time, Dan DeBetta was sliding very quickly, and that's when you really do use a face dodge because DeBetta's momentum was towards the attackman. If you can dodge behind him, he cannot recover, and that's what happened then.
Well, Picone went down, violation, so it will be a Adelphi ball. So after 7 straight goals, and they went something like 21 minutes without a goal, the Post Pioneers, who average over 12 a game.
This has been the entire, as Mark Ford pointed out, the entire tournament has been spurts, runs. Right now, what's great about the game of lacrosse, Post gets hot, scores a couple goals, they're right back in it again.
Picone had the good presence of mind of falling, got it to Flaherty. Flaherty chased by Mike Brzezinski, number 18, playing him with a long pole.
We just saw Washington College with an 8-goal run to beat Nazareth for the first time in 3 years.
And we talk about parity. Nazareth was beaten by Post lost them by a goal, and Adelphi beat them by a goal, and here they are playing in the Division II championship. So there's a lot of parity between the Division II and Division III now.
Pioneers brought it down. Brzezinski, number 18, with the clear.
With the top teams.
Yeah, it's a good point. In case you're just tuning in, earlier today it was Nazareth losing the national championship, Division III, to Washington College. I guess that was three-peat. It was not going to be three-peat.
But it was a nip-and-tuck game right through the third quarter, and then Washington just exploded, I think you said, for 8 straight goals.
8 straight goals.
8 straight goals, and beat Nazareth. Nazareth beat Post, I said, by 1 goal, and they lost to Adelphi by a goal.
Dan Scarano draws a penalty, so they've got an opportunity here for a free shot here. Scarano, number 21, had 15 goals a couple of years ago, and this year it was a 3-year starter, moved back on defense.
And there's another flag. They're going to go 2 men down for interference.
On the crease.
3rd flag. 3 flags. Whoa. Triangle it. This will be interesting.
Chamberlain got the shot off, and now we do have 2 flags, so they could go 2 men up.
3 men. They could go 3 men up. Let's see what 1, 2. I'm counting. Unlike hockey only allows you to go 2 men down, and then the other guy stays out until another man comes in. Lacrosse, you can go as many men as you want. Yeah, and I like to use geometry. First you have a rectangle, then you go to triangle, then you go to line, then you go to point in terms of guys playing in front. That's what we've got
See if we can pick up all the penalties here. Flaherty is headed to the penalty box. Picone is in the box as well.
Now, I once, as a goaltender, only once did my team ever go 3 men down, and it was against Syracuse. They scored on me in the first 2 seconds, I think, with the ball.
That's when you beat Syracuse, right, at Cornell?
Syracuse wasn't quite the team they have been the last couple of years.
By the way, what are your impressions of Roy Simmons?
Well, he's a wonderful man, and I remember when tell you a funny story, his father retired, Roy Simmons, when I was a junior. So Richie Moran, the great guy, says, shake hands with him. He's such a wonderful guy. So we all shook hands with him. He came back the next year. I don't know why. So Roy started coaching when I was a senior at Cornell, Roy Simmons Jr.
Well, I'm counting the numbers up for Adelphi. They seem to have 5 out there.
5 out there. So that one penalty might have been there was a penalty on one man twice. So the guy's down like a minute and 30 seconds.
Well, Flaherty is in the box. Picone was in the box, but it is 6-on-5. Good opportunity for Post to try to get back in this game. They'll work it in tight. And that shot deflected in tight. They got it to Santa Maria, 32.
Now, what happens if one man gets more than one penalty, he serves it consecutively. So if a guy had a slash and a push, he'd be out for a minute and 30 seconds. But he goes in on the first penalty. If it's not up, he's still out if they score a goal.
And Scott Janko in close trying to put that home.
What was nice is Caluso did not give him anything but the far corner. That's the key. Hug the pipe if you're a goalie and force them in and shoot wide.
All the penalties were on Flaherty. 3 for 2 minutes. Slashing, personal foul, and holding. Good job by Greg Friedlander helping us out with stats to get that little note. So they're going to have a full 2 minutes here.
And if you get 6 minutes, you're out of the game like basketball.
Yep.
So he's got 2 against them now.
Bolognese will pick it up, so they're wasting valuable time here.
Well, they feel they've got 2 minutes, which is
actually
kind of a long
it's 2.5
time.
minutes when you add up all the penalties. But they want to cash in here and keep the momentum. Jankow up on the wing.
The ball's moving too slowly, Barry. That's the problem here. It's allowing the zone to really switch. And there is a pass inside the zone, which is a huge mistake.
Yeah, Gonzalez trying to force that. And, of course, it was his own defense that Adelphi employed the first time they played. And now Adelphi, a man down with a chance to pick up a goal here. And it's stopped in tight. Vizlaki with the opportunity.
You know who did a great job is Kelly getting back, number 7. He raced back, David Kelly, and just checked the stick.
Back come the Pioneers, and in tight they miss as they rifled that one wide from in tight.
And another key, let's see what they're going to call it. Yes, another key mistake by Post. They did not have a man covering behind, so the ball goes to Adelphi on for a clear. Again, people not familiar with the game, the nearest person to where the ball goes out of bounds gets possession. In this case, it was an Adelphi defenseman, not a Post attackman. A bad mistake by Post.
You saw Scott Jankow just head off the field. We'll get a timeout taken here with 5:48 to go. And the score, 7-1 in favor of the Adelphi Panthers as they jumped in front early.
And I don't think, Barry, they got a shot on goal that entire, when they were up a man. We're talking about CDO Post. They did not get a shot on goal during that entire man up. A couple shots, but they were wide.
Well, we were talking about Roy Simmons retiring. Who do you think is going to step into that program?
John Desco, the assistant coach. He's been there 19 years. He's a wonderful guy. Really deserves it. And I think that, he's the guy. In fact, it's funny. He was already kind of recruiting a couple of days ago when they were down for the quarterfinals. He was over watching Garden City play, checking players out, because they've got a player now, Tom Glisker, who plays on their second midfield from Garden City. So he was already looking over Long Island talent while he was down there during the quarterfinals.
Part of the crowd here at Yurcak Field, named after a former Rutgers player.
A player, and it's a great little story. I do the Rutgers camp, I do the goalies, and Mr. Yurcak came in, and his daughter was the goalie. So a year or two ago, I had 24 male goalies and 1 female out there playing for us.
Well, he was a player, was quite successful in business, donated quite a bit of money to Rutgers University, and they're really excited here at Rutgers with the new athletic director taking over.
This is a wonderful
Mr. Robert Mulcahy.
I would say this is a wonderful playing field. This is perfect for a good lacrosse game. You can't beat it.
Well, Post, look at the difference in ground balls. We'll give you that. Jankow rifled it wide. Still a man up here.
And they rifled it high.
Jankow again scores!
Good cut. That's what they got to do all the time. That was a great cut. Strong cut to the goal, catches the ball, and quick sticks it in. Great
Scott
cut.
Jankow, the transfer from Hofstra, the kid out of West Islip, with his 6th goal of the year to go along with 11 assists, and they needed that one.
Nice feed from Chamberlain, number 23 there.
Yeah, that was the key. Now watch it. Chamberlain gives him a feed, a guy cutting across the goal. He shoots back against Caluso. That's a very tough shot to stop. That was an excellent play. Good hard cut. This is what Post, I think, has got to do. They've got to cut and move, and work the transition game. That's what they got to do to get back in this ball game.
They can get within 3 or 4 heading into
Yep.
the second half. I mean, they're obviously back in it.
Well, I say momentum is everything. I saw Syracuse down to Virginia 14-7 and come back and win.
Picone got it off, and a good shot in tight that time by Christian Neuer.
A terrific save right then. Terrific save by Fredericks off his left foot.
Picone again picking up that ground ball. Going to point out that ground ball is quite a difference in the second quarter. Post 12, Adelphi 6 before these last couple.
Well, you know what happened? They're up, post is up tempo, and they know they've got us, so they're starting to play, where every ground intensity.
Yeah, look at them fighting for the ball, and they're going to get the turnover here.
Well, that's the intensity we're talking about. And then if you're Adelphi, you relax a little bit because you're up by 7 goals, and you're saying, boy, we get this game. Psychologically, you're saying we're in control.
Well, we'll get a momentary timeout here as both teams will make changes. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule and Mark Ford here at Yurcak Field, Rutgers University. National Championship game, Division I tomorrow. Maryland against Princeton. The Division III championship won earlier today by Washington College, upsetting Nazareth, the 3-time defending champ. And, of course, right now, the Division II championship on the line. Last year, New York Tech won it. They knocked off this Adelphi team, and Adelphi in it for the 4th straight year.
You know, Barry, if you want to see the best lacrosse played all year long, a great lacrosse spectacle you cannot beat this weekend. The semifinals are on a Saturday. The 2 finals on a Sunday for Division II and III, and the finals tomorrow. It's a fantastic weekend of lacrosse.
Pioneers trying to get something going. Buccello, number 8, again trying to draw the short stick.
He's got a short stick on him, so I think he's got to put a little pressure to get to the goal.
Joe, not really an offensive threat, just 3 goals on the year. You'd think they'd have someone else with the ball in their hands and trying from that position behind.
But, sometimes he could draw a penalty because he's real quick. He'll draw a penalty against a short stick guy. Maybe he won't score if he draws that penalty.
Now Loyacano, another midfielder, inverts. He's got a big stick, however, on him. He's got Lohmuller on him. Got good shot off.
Good shot, but he dropped the shoulder real early. Caluso went right down with it and made a good save on the low shot. He was ready for it.
All right, Panthers up by 5 as they'll bring it down. Babb trying to get the pass off. Picked off, and they've got transition going here. The Post Pioneers with it.
It's really 4-on-4, so I think they should pull the ball out. Pull that ball out and work their offense.
Yeah, Ernie Thompson brought it down, but then they lost the opportunity.
It was actually 4-on-4 then. The defenseman really hustled. The defensive midi hustled back. Yeah.
And it looks like we're going to get a timeout called here to settle things down by the Adelphi Panthers, who have been all over the Post Pioneers. They led. Let's recap.
I think that's a smart timeout.
Very smart. You know why? He's going to get the guys together. He's going to say, look, we don't want to have them run and get a couple of goals. Get the ball down, settle it down, and make Post play us.
Let's recap the scoring, Bob, for you. Picone made it 1-0 with the first of 2 goals that he scored on the afternoon. The brilliant midfielder who has now 35 on the year. And then it was Ross coming up with a goal. Picone followed. Babb and Flaherty made it 5-0. Vislaki 6-0. Mangan made it 7-0 in the second quarter. And then finally Gonzalez came up with a goal, and they also came up with another goal, Janko, to make it 7-2. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, and let's go to Jimmy Cavallo.
And welcome to the sidelines, gentlemen. With me is John Weaver. He's the editor-in-chief of E.Lacrosse, an online magazine. And John, why should lacrosse be left behind in the computer boom? You guys are right there.
They're not left behind. As a matter of fact, E.Lacrosse provides a high school, college, club, rec, not only coverage, but video coverage on the web. And they just have to check it out. The internet address is www.e-lacrosse.com. And we invite everybody to come out. It is a free publication. We are advertiser supported.
Big weekend here at Rutgers. Are you guys updating? We have the Division I final. Division III already went down. Here's Division II. Are you guys continually updating?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, it's one of the benefits of being on the internet. Our people here have laptops and cellular connections. We could basically update the page that this tournament was held at the top of Mount Everest. It's been a wonderful tournament so far. We're especially happy to see Division II included in the Final Four format.
It is e-lacrosse.com. Barry, I know you'll dial it up.
I've already done it. My son Greg, who's a computer whiz, has got me hooked into the internet, and John Weaver and those folks do a great job. Right now, trying to do a job for the Adelphi Panthers with a 7-2 lead. They've got possession of the ball. Anthony Picone, number 3.
Now watch how they're basically weaving the ball right now. They don't want to give up a goal. They don't want to give any momentum at all to Post.
Misselli to Picone. He'll go cross field with it.
Flaherty, who's had a goal, number 41. So they've gotten goals from the midfielders. Their attack really hasn't been done too much. Tower, Misselli, they've only had one goal from the attack today.
But you know something? That's the balance that they're talking about, the good balance that they have.
Misselli getting inside, got checked as he got the shot off. It trickles here, trying to get to it. Fredericks, good job by Vinny Fredericks. He's got Mangan all over him riding.
Jeez, Mangan whacks him hard.
Mangan's going to be called for a penalty.
Yeah.
He leads the club in penalties.
I believe
they
that.
play tough in Australia, huh?
It's like a tomahawk in his hand. And you see, that's not what what Adelphi wanted to do. They come down right now, they score a goal, and then they go a man up. It's 2-goal swing.
Paraquan brought it down, and let's see now what the mistake is here.
I'll tell you the mistake. He came out of the box. He had to know that the guy was going to be up in there.
Rob Paraquan, a freshman mistake. The young man out of West Islip plays for an outstanding program there, and we get the flag call. And
illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure, indeed.
They might have had a quick sub. I'm not really sure. I count 5 guys in front of him, though.
Mark Ford, we're down to the final minute and 54 seconds in what has been sort of a shocker for most people coming and following Division II lacrosse.
You would never think that a 7-0 run would start the game. And here we go. But Post has some momentum now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Get a goal now. They've got the last 3 goals.
Well, let's see what they do here. 17, Jaworowski. 5, Gonzalez. Off to Bolognese. They've got a man-up situation here as Mangan is in the box for that slash. Oh, Jankow got checked and lost it there. Good defensive job once again by number 44, Keith Lohmuller. And now Mark Reeves' pass is picked off. So again, the Pioneers with 1:15 to go in this second quarter.
All even.
Penalty is over, so the teams are 6-on-6. Good low shot by Bolognese. Stopped.
Good save by Kaluza. Again, Bolognese dropped the stick and Kaluza went right down with it and anticipated that low shot.
This is Luis Gonzalez who broke the schneid. They went some 21 minutes without a goal and then scored some 6 minutes into the second quarter. Gonzalez gets a pick from Jankow there. 45 seconds to go. Jankow, who scored one of the 2 goals, got it in front. Santa Maria had it broken up. Well, they worked the ball in tight,
Nice.
Santa Maria.
But still, they're
finish.
throwing at guys who are covered. They've still got to work the backside.
Oh, Kelly with a hospital hit. It's going to be called for a penalty.
Let's see what they call. Probably a cross check.
Oh my, Kelly with a big hit. And I believe it was on number 15 of Adelphi. Let's see if we could possibly pick that up again.
All right, watch this. Gave him an elbow. The stick was high. It's very tough in a case like that to hit a guy clean, quite frankly. The refs will look to throw the flag because they don't want guys hurt. And he did come up a little bit with his elbow and got him in the face. This really hurts Post, a situation like this, simply because there are 2 things can happen. If I'm Adelphi, maybe you work for 1 shot. Here it is again. Watch this. Bang. See with the elbow up high. And you could see him bring his arms up. As soon as he did that, the referee's going to blow the whistle.
It's going to hurt momentum next half,
Yeah.
too, because they're not going to have the ball to start the second.
Well, unless if I'm Adelphi, maybe you go for 1 shot, then keep the ball. Now, what happens in lacrosse, if you start the next quarter or half and you've got a penalty, you're up a man, you keep the ball on offense. You don't face off.
Mangan swings it on the wing. Picone, who's had a pair today, up top.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Just hold the ball.
Flaherty down to final seconds, and that will do it as the first half has come to an end with the Adelphi Panthers racing to a 7-2 halftime lead as they look to avenge their earlier season loss and come up with another national championship. They won it in 93, won it in 95, and then lost, of course, in 96 and 97. Let's go right now to Jimmy Cavallo.
Coach Tom Postel and Coach, let's face it, down 7-0. Your guys could have mailed it in. If you break this game down to thirds, you guys had the better last 10 minutes.
Well, we're not breaking it down. We're not breaking it down, and we're not quitting, okay? We're coming back in the second half. We got behind. We're going to open up this game. They want to run. We're going to try to run as best we can.
When you look at CW Post, you talk about defense. Where were the defensive breakdowns?
Well, we broke down the balls in front of the cage a couple of times. We didn't put anybody on that backside, okay? And they picked it up for 3 goals, I think. You know, So we got to go over a couple things on defensively. We're not going to use our long poles as much as we did. We're going to go with short sticks. Hopefully we can possess the ball a little more.
Okay.
With the ball.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Down by 5, 7-2. That's Tom Postel. Good of him to stop by after our first half that really saw CW Post fall behind in a hurry. We shall take a quick break. We are at halftime of the Division II National Championship. When we come back, we'll talk to our 2 athletic directors. Come on back. You're watching Championship Lacrosse right here.
I've been thinking about it for a long time.
I knew earning a master's would help my career.
With a job, my family, how could I finish college?
I barely had time for myself.
CW Post offered me the intelligent solution.
Excellent academics, flexible schedules.
Designed for people with busy lives.
Classes are small, and the professors really know me.
It's the education I've always wanted.
I'm glad I came to Post.
The choice is clear. CW Post, Long Island University.
Lacrosse Unlimited, home of Long Island's all lacrosse stores. Come visit one of our 4 locations in East Meadow, Hauppauge, Huntington, and Manhasset. If you're looking for a lacrosse stick, come in and customize one to your specific needs. You design it and we'll create it in under 1 week. We carry the largest inventory of lacrosse equipment on Long Island. When it comes to lacrosse fashion, Lacrosse Unlimited stocks the most complete selection of shorts, shirts, hats, and sportswear. Nobody services the lacrosse community like Lacrosse Unlimited.
When in New York, stay at one of the 9 Manhattan East Suite hotels where you get a spacious suite with a full kitchen for the price of a regular hotel. Call 1-800-ME-SUITE. That's 1-800-ME-SUITE.
Hi, I'm Mike Cordy. 1976, I came to Long Island to play with the New York Islanders. I used to use this stick to take care of business on the ice. Now that I've traded in my hockey stick for lacrosse stick, I'm having a lot of fun coaching my daughter's team here on Long Island. When I'm not on the playing field, I'm here at my office at A.G. Edwards, keeping up with the latest stock quotes and market trends. We may not be the largest firm on Long Island, but we're committed to serving our clients and the Huntington community. For investment advice, call me at 516-427-3100. A.G. Edwards.
And we are back at halftime here at Yurcak Field of this Division II National Championship. You know, for the past 13 years at CW Post, Vin Salamone has been the athletic director. Good to see you, Vin. And first of all, let's start right at the top. What a weekend of lacrosse here at Rutgers. I know you guys came in Friday night, the banquets, just a lot of lacrosse chatter.
Oh, it's been fantastic. We've been looking forward to this for the past few years. As you know, the championship has been held down in Maryland. And especially us Northerners, we wanted to have our fans get a better shot at it, and so we've been looking forward to having it up here.
You know, when you look at the history of this Division II lacrosse championship, Adelphi and CW Post sprinkled all over it. You guys are making your 4th consecutive trip. You talk about Adelphi, CW Post, 43 years of playing this game. You have a seat on the chair of the Division II in the selection process. You're one of the guys who puts the teams to get here. Even on Division I, you have a say. When you look at the Division II format, is there any conversation about maybe opening it up a little bit to mirror Division I, make more of a playoff where, you know, multiple teams will get in?
Oh, definitely. The problem lies in that the NCAA has a rule for championships. You must have 40 schools that play the sport in order to have a championship. Well, we only have 30. And in fact, next year is the last year that this championship is protected. Hopefully next year, in January when the NCAA meets, we're going to have legislature there to expand this to future dates.
You know, one thing about an athletic director, if the spring sports teams are not getting the job done, maybe makes life a little easier. He doesn't have his schedule extended. Not the case for Vin Salamone. CW Post, an outstanding spring season. You've been a busy guy.
It's been fun. It's been fun. That kind of busy you love. Our baseball team won the Eastern region of the Mid-Continent Conference. Our softball team won the NICAC, went on to the NCAAs. They won the first 2 at the NCAAs, and then they sort of fell apart after that. But I'm proud of every one of them. They did a great job.
You yourself, a Post alumnus, played lacrosse yourself, and I know you have some ties to both of our head coaches. All you guys are in the mix.
Oh yeah, it's family. It's family. Tommy and I, Tom Postel and I played together. He looks a lot older than I am, but I'm a few years older than Tommy. And Sandy at one time coached for us. He was our goalie coach.
All right, that's Vince Salamone right there. He is the athletic director at CW Post. We are at halftime here, this Division II National Championship. We'll take a quick break. We're right back.
Come on down to Olympic Den at 676 Dogood Avenue in Franklin Square, one of Long Island's largest lacrosse suppliers for 22 years. Choose from our large lacrosse inventory, including Bryant, STX, De Beer, Warrior, and Sport helmets. We carry cascades, lacrosse heads, shafts, including alloy shafts, composite shafts, and titanium shafts. You can also come and design your own personal custom lacrosse stick. Choose from a wide selection of shorts. Olympic Den also features the Clear Edge, Edge 2, and F22 shafts. Olympic Den, located at 676 Dogood Avenue, Franklin Square. 516-486-0975.
E-Lacrosse Rage on the Cage is the ultimate lacrosse highlight experience. Scoop one up at the E-Lacrosse website or find our lacrosse stores like Great Atlantic, Blacks World, Commonwealth Lacrosse, and Lacrosse Unlimited on the island.
Hi, I'm Mike Cordy. 1976, I came to Long Island to play with the New York Islanders. I used to use this stick to take care of business on the ice. Now that I've traded in my hockey stick for lacrosse stick, I'm having a lot of fun coaching my daughter's team here on Long Island. When I'm not on the playing field, I'm here at my office at A.G. Edwards, keeping up with the latest stock quotes and market trends. We may not be the largest firm on Long Island, but we're committed to serving our clients and the Huntington community. For investment advice, call me at 516-427-3100. A.G. Edwards.
We helped David Nolan with a pre-approved mortgage, which gave him the bargaining power to buy his family a bigger house with a lower bid. Chase Mortgage Pre-Approvals. They make every one of our 23 different mortgages even more valuable. Another way you're worth more at our bank. Chase, because the right relationship is everything.
And welcome back to Rutgers as we continue on at halftime here. Well, we bring in athletic director number 2 for the past 14 years. Bob Hartwell has been at the helm of Adelphi University. And Bob, did I give CW Post 4 straight trips to this NCAA Division II championship? It's actually Adelphi, and you guys have got to be excited about that back again.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here, and obviously with the change in venue so that Division II is playing with Division and Division I, Division III, we're very pleased about the setup here at Rutgers.
Is this the bragging rights for all of Long Island? I mean, we're talking about Division II, a national championship of lacrosse, but I mean, 43 years you guys have been going at it. The school's just about 13, 15 minutes away. This is for the Long Island title, too.
Well, it's a lot of fun. You know, CW Post and Adelphi have been the stalwarts of lacrosse along with Hofstra. But the thing that both of our institutions have attempted to do is to make lacrosse grow across the country. So we think that Long Island is the hotbed, but we want the rest of the country to catch up with us.
You know, you're also a dean at Adelphi University. When you look at Adelphi, a couple bumps in the road in the past few years, but now Mr. Goldstein, new president, is in. There's a new attitude. Things are good once again at Adelphi.
Well, the announcement of Dr. Goldstein as our new president has been very exciting on our campus. Our freshman applications are way up. There's a great excitement on campus, and I think Adelphi is on its way back.
Oh, Mr. Hartwell, just like a great administrator talking about applications being up. You guys love that.
We sure do, and athletics plays a role in that. We're real pleased about that. We have in excess of 200 athletes at during any given year. It's a very exciting time for us to be recruiting, and Dr. Goldstein really is going to play a role in that.
That's the Associate Dean and the Athletic Director, Bob Hartwell of Adelphi University. We are just moments away from the start of the second half. NCAA Division II lacrosse. Stay with us.
We're Shamrock Lacrosse, the new kid on the block. We make the latest and greatest equipment. Our men's lacrosse stick, the Rock, has a radical wing design that channels the ball from pinpoint accuracy and creates the deepest legal pocket in lacrosse. Our new products are Pro Shaft, a carbon-fortified wood shaft, and the Rule Pad, a multi-flex arm pad system. Shamrock's women's stick, the Rocket, is the new revolutionary design that is taking the women's game by storm. Approved by the USWLA. Look for the Shamrock in your store. Arena Sport and Graphics, specialists in custom screen printing, embroidery, and athletic uniforms. Located on Main Street in Port Washington, Arena has a full line of lacrosse equipment by STX, Brine, Warrior, De Beer, Shamrock, and more. Get your Cascade lacrosse helmets at Arena and let us design your new helmet logo. Arena Sport and Graphics is a proud sponsor of the North Hempstead Lacrosse Club. Come out and see the best of post-collegiate lacrosse right in your own backyard. For more information and game times, call 516-767-5108.
Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. Yeah, my teachers and career counselors are great. They even sent me email. Mom, the whole campus is wired. Yeah, we've got championship NCAA teams. No, I'm not lonely. There's a lot to do here. Rick and I were just going out to shoot some hoops before dinner. Yeah, the food's good. You're making lasagna? You got enough for both of us? We'll be right over.
Adelphi. Stay close, go far.
We helped David Nolan with a pre-approved mortgage, which gave him the bargaining power to buy his family a bigger house with a lower bid. Chase Mortgage Pre-Approvals. They make every one of our 23 different mortgages even more valuable. Another way you're worth more at our bank. Chase, because the right relationship is everything.
Barry Landers along with Bob Rolls, second half underway right now as the Pioneers of Post defending against the extra man situation. Adelphi, you recall, had the extra man when this second half began, and they make him pay dearly with their second man-up goal, and it's Brad Ross, again an unsung hero, second goal of the game, only 9th of the year for the junior from Australia.
I'll tell you, this is a crusher because this is really a two-goal swing. Adelphi had the ball, Post had the ball with a minute to go. They got a penalty, lost the ball, and now Adelphi scores. Really a two-goal swing.
No question about it, and again, an unsung guy burning him. Brad Ross is known as a quick stick, plays man up, comes up with the goal. So Ross makes it 8-2, and that does hurt him. That was the first time they scored a goal in a long time. Remember, they got those 7 quick goals, and now they're up by 6 once again. Let's see how Post answers. It'll be very interesting, not the way you want to start here.
Tommy Postel said he's going to go with less long sticks and more short sticks so he gets more offensive power out there and runs a little bit better. The danger to that is a guy like Bacone with a short stick is tough.
Well, we'll try to give you some first half official stats here. As right now Adelphi with the ball, flag on the play, so there's a delayed penalty coming up against the Pioneers. Adelphi moves it beautifully, and they score the gimme goal as they worked it beautifully down low, and they add to their lead as they now lead it by a score of 9-2. Steve Carpetano coming up with the goal.
Plenty of time, great transition goal. That's what's going to hurt Post a little bit when they get a little too over-enthusiastic on the offensive side of the field. They still got to get back and play defense, and they did in that time.
Well, we said what effect that goal would have, and they scored 2 quick ones here. James Maselli is going to get credit for the goal. A little tough to pick up the 6 and the 5, but it was James Maselli with his 29th goal of the year.
What made it so good, Barry, is their ball movement. So far, interestingly, Adelphi has been very unselfish, looking for that assist rather than goal, looking for the better shot.
Well, we'll give you those first half stats in just a moment. The shots were 21-16 in favor of Adelphi, as right now the Post Pioneers trying to get back in. They trail by 7. Remember, they trailed 7-0.
The misleading part of those shots is how many of those were quality shots taken by Post. I mean, a lot of shots went wide of the goal, never reached the goaltender, and Kalisa's made some very good saves, but he hasn't had the pressure that Fredericks had so far.
About a minute and a half gone by here as both teams will make changes. Gonzalez working behind. He takes the short stick of Babb behind him. Gonzalez, who got the first of 2 goals scored this game by the Pioneers, off now to his teammate.
I just don't see Post putting a lot of pressure on the goalie. They're not moving around, a lot of one-on-ones.
Nope.
And there they lost the ball again.
It's a good point, Bob. They did lose it. We got a flag delayed penalty call coming up here.
Okay, now that's a hold. That's a 30-second foul. Let's call a technical foul. If you've got control of the ball and someone holds you, you go down for 30 seconds. Not a minute, because it's not considered a foul that could hurt you. That's what a personal foul is. That's a foul that would be for a minute. Again, every single time that post goes to an extra man now, it's critical that they score, or at least get quality shots on goal.
Well, we'll see what happens here with the man-up situation. Post was 1 for 4 extra man in the first half. Gonzalez is number 5. He's got a good hard outside shot. Working on the wing. This is Gonzalez. Good ball movement here. Jankow trying to finish. Getting a piece of it was big Greg Kalesa.
Right, came around, shot high, where to the goalie straight. Goalies in close especially are going to be tougher high because that's where their stick is. Got to try to shoot low then.
Off up top.
Penalty's over.
Teams are all even, so they're 1 for 5 now. Feet on the crease. Tough pass to try to complete as they were looking down for the cutter Bolognese. And as the ball comes to midfield, we get a stoppage in play here. Offside. And it will just be a loss of possession here.
Now again, people not familiar with the game, offsides is when on the offensive side of the field, offensive half of the field, you've got to have a minimum of 3 players. Once a person steps on the line or over it, and you only have 2, if you have the ball, you lose it. If the other team has it, you go down in 30 seconds. If neither one of you have it, the other team gains possession. That's what happened then. Nobody had possession. One of the Adelphi defensemen stepped off sides. They get Post gets possession.
That one hit the pipe, worked down low to Chamberlain. Fast break opportunity here. DeBetta leads the fast break. And that one deflects wide. And it'll still be Adelphi ball. They've done an excellent job, Adelphi, using their speed, clearing the ball, and getting down for good opportunities off the transition.
Look, Adelphi's playing with tremendous amount of confidence right now, Barry. These guys are up by 7 goals. They're right now, know they're in control, and that gives you that confidence to do a lot of good things with the ball.
And, of course, Adelphi playing defensively here in the second half without Keith Lohmuller. Number 44 is out with a knee injury. He's one of their key long pole defensive middies. He was an All-American a couple of years ago, blew out his knee, you'll recall, and been used primarily as a long pole defensive mid. Here's Flaherty cranking one. Deflected on the way, saved by Vin Fredericks. Scramble for that ball. He's caught out of the cage, and he almost was made to pay.
But I like Vinny Fredericks is trying to make things happen as a goaltender, so he's trying to get the ball and get it upfield. Didn't happen then, almost paid the price, but I like the fact he's being aggressive.
Well, ground balls in that first half, which at one point were decidedly in favor of Adelphi, turned out 29-27 in favor of Adelphi. Face-offs, Adelphi dominating 8 of the 11.
Well, that's key right there. And what happened is you're going to have lulls in a game. You're not going to be super the whole game. Adelphi had a little lull the last 10 minutes of the second quarter, but only give up 2 goals.
This is Flaherty. Flaherty isolating now, up top. Going to his right, off now to Picone. Save made by Vinny Fredericks.
Good save by Fredericks. That's a good hard shot.
Outlet intercepted, a bad clear. It almost made the pay. Mangan on the rebound will put it home.
Again, Vinny Fredericks, a really tough mistake. Makes a nice save, then throws a bad clearing pass. When it gets bad for you, it gets really bad, and that's what happened then.
Mark Mangan with his second goal of the game, 44th of the season for this brilliant senior who transferred from Catonsville Community College in Maryland. We'll take another look.
Watch this. He gets a rebound. It was a good save by Fredericks. Nobody is there to pick it up for Post. Mangan gets the ball and just bangs that rebound home. That's the 3rd rebound goal they've scored. It's the 4th rebound goal that Adelphi scored today.
Good job by Chris Babb taking the face-off there. Their second face-off man as Adelphi dominates again on the face-off.
And again, you know, Post is really down right now. You can tell they're not playing with intensity. The other thing, as I said, is allows the Adelphi coach to keep Picone off the field and have him nice and rested for the 4th quarter.
Mangan gets a shot off. Fredericks again the save. Having trouble with the clear. They're all over him. That was Brzezinski who had trouble. Kelly getting checked. Tower number 10 after it in black. Mangan slipping. Looks like a hot potato over there. Finally, Tim Fagan comes up with it.
It's those long sticks. It's tough to pick up a ball in a crowd when you have a defense stick.
How about the grass compared to the turf as far as the long stick?
Well,
any difference?
I don't think there's a real difference. I'd rather always play in grass because grass is much nicer, kinder to your legs.
Paranow got checked.
They can't call the ball to skid a little bit.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Again, some aggressive play along the sideline. We'll get both teams making changes. 9:40 to go. In case you're just tuning in, Adelphi roared to an early 7-0 lead. Then a couple of unanswered goals by Post made it a little closer at halftime, 7-2. But 3 unanswered goals here in the third quarter by Ross, Miceli, and Mangan have made it a 10-2 game
And
for Adelphi.
We'll almost go back to that penalty that Post took in the last minute of the second quarter. It allowed Adelphi to get the ball to start the third quarter. They scored quickly, and I really think that really just took the heart out of the CW Post team. I know you've got Coach Kowalski down there, Stan Kowalski, working with Tom Postel and Chris Triola, and those guys working hard to keep these guys up. But boy, it's tough when you're down by 8 goals.
No question about it. And against a team, Adelphi, you know, you look at a Post with that great defense coming in and giving up that one rifled wide and close by Loyacano. But you look at this team giving up their goalie, Vinny Fredericks, 6 goals a game. They were the best defensive team in the nation. They've given up 10 here, and we still have 9 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Well, everything's gone right for Adelphi today. I mean, they're past the Chris. They got a couple of great offensive players in Pacone and Mangan who've come through today big time. A couple guys they didn't expect to score have come through and scored goals. So
like Brad Ross and
exactly.
Rich
Vizlaki, I think.
Vizlaki.
Rick Vizlaki got a goal. So what you've got is a team working on all cylinders right now, and that's what's happening right now for Adelphi.
Right now, Post trying to get something going. It's a good stop by Calusa.
And Kalesa comes in, makes a great save. And I apologize, I've been calling him Calusa, I think, since he was at Garden City. It's Kalesa.
Oh, DeBetta with a nice feed, and they score once again.
Nice.
Set up by the fine clear by Dan DeBetta. Brought it down, made the smart pass off. Had his teammate Miceli open, and Miceli gets his second goal of this third quarter. And the Panthers are biting the hand that may have fed them from the Pioneers.
I'll tell you, that was a textbook fast break. He came down, he drew a man. Here he comes, draws a man, gives it to the point man on the fast break, and he just drills the ball by Fredericks. A good shot.
So Miceli, the junior from Bellport, out of East Patchogue, who was a sub last year, had only 2 goals. This year, he's got 30. And what a year he's had. He's a good finisher, as we saw right there. So 4 unanswered goals to start this third quarter.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to the Adelphi defense and Greg Kalesa. They've come up so big all game long. Post is just not getting very good shots on goal. They're not getting the shots because Adelphi's doing a great job of doubling when they have to, and the Post attackmen are not finding the second man on the double. Result is they're losing the ball.
Well, it's been all Adelphi to start the first and third quarters, as they have opened up a commanding 11-2 lead, a shocking lead for folks who have followed Division II lacrosse, where Tech and Delphi and Post have played so many close games in recent years, Bob.
Yeah, and you have to look at the game earlier. Earlier, Post wins 9-8 in a tough ball game, granted, but not a lucky win. They were both hard-fought. It was a hard-fought game the whole game.
You know, after losing that game, Adelphi went on to lose to Salisbury State and had to win some big games late in the season to make sure they got into the playoffs.
Well, it had to beat New York Tech, of course, was the big team in this league.
And then had to beat Dowling. They had a tough game with Dowling, and Tony Chiazza, the fine Dowling coach, is here. What a job he's done to make that program competitive.
Great. And what I like about Tony is he comes around, he puts clinics on for kids. He's doing a lot of things to put Dowling on the map in terms of lacrosse program.
Well, these two schools have had great traditions, Adelphi and Post. And today, battling on this beautiful field. It must be a great thrill for these kids, Bob. You, of course, played in a national championship game, won it with your Cornell team, and played before some big crowds back in the 70s. But for these guys, playing before this big crowd's got to be a thrill.
It is, and you know, this is the thing you'll take for the rest of your life. When you play in a national championship team, there are only 50 people ever playing a game like this on any given year for Division II, so you'll take it for the rest of your life.
There's been some talk about doing away maybe with the Division II championship. There aren't that many teams playing, or
I don't think that's
possibly expanding the field, you know, to make it not just a one-game tournament.
Well, what I would like to see is Division II expand in terms of the number of schools that are in it. I think there are a lot of Division I programs that would really benefit in being Division II.
Well, what about Division III teams perhaps
moving
up?
Moving up. I mean, it goes either way. Sure. It's the number of scholarships, I think, the ratios and so on. I think they could have more balance, especially it's such a natural on Long Island to have some of the Division I schools that play now to go to Division II.
Todd Bolognese finally able to get that ball, but Again, Adelphi scrambling after every loose ground ball, even though they've got a 9-goal lead here.
Well, you got lots of confidence. You're starting to taste that championship, so you play harder.
Loyacano trying to get the shot off, broken up. And here's DeBetta, who's played a great game, picking it up, leading the break. He's got Tower on the right. Will wind up and take the shot. Frederick's good save.
That's a good save because it's tough to gauge where that ball is when it's coming off a long stick like that on a shot.
Well, Dan DeBetta has got a great stick, and he's also can lead the break very fast. He's a transfer from Hofstra and Nassau Community College. Broken up. 13 saves right now for Fredericks. And he's also given up 11 goals, so he's been under siege.
Again, if you looked at that sequence, Post comes down with the ball, forces it to the inside. Adelphi intercepts it, takes it down. Adelphi's got the ball on offense.
5:24 to go, third quarter. And the Adelphi Panthers with a 11-2 lead. They've had good balance today. Nobody has more than 2 goals. 3 players have 2 goals apiece. Ross, Mangan, and Picone have 2 apiece. And the other goals have been scored by individual players. Mangan will swing it behind. Maselli finds the open wing. And that's Picone. And Picone working against number 10. And that's Loyacano. So he's got the short stick and he's going to invert. Now picked up by Jankow.
Well, if you're Sandy Capitos, you're in no hurry to score right now, quite frankly. You're looking for the good feed, the good pass, and that's it.
Maselli had it broken up.
That was actually a good feed. If he was open.
Again, another ground ball picked up. Here's Flaherty as they took that ball right away on the ground ball. Flaherty with 4:20 to go here in the third quarter, and Adelphi with a 9-goal lead. Hard to believe if you're just tuning in and expected to see this one as just about everybody did. Figure this to be a 1-goal game.
It was one of those games where you thought it might come down to whoever had the ball last was going to win.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen.
Flaherty taking some time off the clock. Isolating against Dan Scarano with a short stick, 21. Beats him. That's to the left side. That's where he wanted to go, where his strong left-handed shot. They had a backer. Clock stops with 3:47 to go.
Not a great shot, but you know, they've got 2 guys behind the goal. They know they're going to get the ball back. And that's really what they're playing for then.
Mangan, who will play for the Australian national team in the World Games. Coming up beautiful. Pass work. Hit the pipe. And Picone will pick up the rebound. Maselli hit the pipe. Tried to get a little too cute. And it's picked off that time by Dan Scarano.
Picone tried to get a little too cute, passed the ball behind his back. He gave it right to a post guy. But look, you're up by 9 goals. You can experiment a little bit.
Yeah, that's a no, yes,
Yes,
all right,
that's right, yeah.
kind of thing.
In this case.
Sandy Capitos can accept that here. Now Gonzalez comes on in the midfield, number 5. As you see the time remaining on the Yurcak Field scoreboard here at Rutgers. And Post Pioneers held to just 2 goals so far. And are we going to get a push in the crease violation going to be called?
Now again, people not familiar with the game, if you see that little circle that's around the goal, the only people allowed in there, there's no offensive player ever allowed in that area, or you lose the ball, or the other team will get possession.
You're the next ECU.
Now, not much pressure. Now easily bring it down. Tower working it behind. Brzezinski defending number 18. Up top, and the Pioneers, Saccone. Number 15, picked up by Kelly. And it's ball loose. Kozlowski will pick it up. And let's check in right now with Jimmy Cavallo down in the field.
Well, Barry Lander standing by with one of Garden City's own. This is Phil Buttafuoco. He is the Assistant Director of Championships for the NCAA. And Phil, as we stand here with the Division II championship in the foreground, that is something in itself, because this is the first year that Division II is part of championship weekend, as a goal is scored down yonder, grouped in with Division I and III.
It's the first time in this new format since '92 we've had Division III, and Division II is asked to play in this, and the NCAA committee approved it, and this is the first year. So we're excited about the new format. I know the kids are really excited about it.
You know, when you look at the crowds here, Memorial Day weekend up at Rutgers, just outstanding. The weather has cooperated. First time in 9 years, you guys have brought it up to Rutgers. What was the decision to bring it away from College Park?
Well, it's a process of the schools submitting proposals to the NCAA committee, and there were a couple years after we were here in '90, we were up at Syracuse, we were at Penn, and then we went to Maryland, and we were supposed to come back here, and then they had some problems when they were building the new stadium that wasn't going to be completed on time. So we stayed at Maryland, and we were there 5 years in a row. But Rutgers certainly has deserved this opportunity. Will again in 2001 and 2002.
Thanks for being here, Phil.
Thank you very much.
That's your next commissioner of the ECAC, Phil Buttafuoco. Back upstairs to Barry Landers.
And you know Phil quite well, don't you, Bob?
Well, he's a Garden City guy. I was giving him a hard time about us being Garden City, but it's one of the great rivalries of lacrosse, Garden City and Manhasset. And I want to point out what a great job Phil and his crew has done to take this championship from when I first played, where we drew 5,000 people at Hofstra, which might have been the biggest crowd to see a game in a long, at that time in '71, to where now they'll draw over a couple of days over 50,000 people. So it's guys like Phil Buttafuoco who set up the program that we have today in lacrosse.
While Phil was being interviewed, Anthony Ciccone scored for Adelphi to make it a 12-2 game. And now we have a man-up situation for the Post Pioneers, a holding call against Adelphi as they worked it into the crease, and they'll recover. Back up top. Jankow swings it on the wing. Pioneer penalty. Time just about running out. Teams are all even. And that good save on the shot by Todd Bolognese that time by Greg Kalesa.
Kalesa's been sharp, but the Adelphi defense has just done a great job today of not giving Post good shots. Man down, regular defense, not good shots.
Chamberlain falling, gets a double, lost it, and that's what they've done so effectively today too.
You know, this looks like, if you go to a Division I program playing defense like this, looks like the Princeton defense. Great doubles.
Bizlocki got it off. Look at that passing, and Tower finishes. You couldn't have asked for a better fast break right there.
A great transition goal right there. That's a textbook transition goal where the ball is moved around, the defense is forced to shift, and then you get a shot right off the crease.
Christian Neuer set it up, number 19, but it was Bizlocki who brought it down with the initial pass. Let's pick it up, Bob.
Okay, it starts with a good double team. They get the ball. Look at this great pass right there and a good shot. Classic fast break right there, okay? Brian Tower scoring the goal from Christian Neuer, an excellent play.
And there's a look at Brian, the freshman from Hicksville. What a job that Hicksville program has done over the last few years.
Yeah, and they've done it again in the thick of things in the A games right now.
And again, the run. Remember, this was a 7-2 game going into this third quarter. 6 unanswered goals. We're down to the final 12 seconds. Tommy Postel's got to be pulling his hair out, figuring, hey, had a little momentum. You heard him talk to Jimmy Cavallo. He was fired up. And something's happened to that Post Pioneer club.
You know, sometimes, speaking as a coach, there are days when nothing works for you. And that's what's happened to Post. Every bounce has really gone Adelphi's way. I'm not taking anything away from Adelphi. They're playing as good a game as Adelphi can play. They're doing it today. Offense is clicking. Their defense is playing wonderful team defense. You can't beat it.
And that will do it. So the Post Pioneers frustrated right now because it's been all Adelphi. The Panthers clawing their way to a 13-2 lead at the end of 3 quarters. We'll be right back. You're watching NCAA Lacrosse.
When in New York, stay at one of the 9 Manhattan East Suite hotels where you get a spacious suite with a full kitchen for the price of a regular hotel. Call 1-800-ME-SUITE. That's 1-800-ME-SUITE.
E-Lacrosse Rage on the Cage is the ultimate lacrosse highlight experience. Scoop one up at the E-Lacrosse website or at finer lacrosse stores like Great Atlantic, Blacks World, Commonwealth Lacrosse, and Lacrosse Unlimited on the island.
You decided on a college. I know we talked about it, but you made your decision so fast. You know, your mother was hoping you'd pick a school that's small and close to home, where you're not just another number, with teachers that really care about you. And what about your soccer? Do they have a good team? And of course, we want you to get a solid education. So, have you found a school like that?
Sure did.
Adelphi. Stay close, go far.
The Goodwill Games are coming to New York July 19th through August 2nd. Come out and see the world's best athletes compete on the world's biggest stage. 15 sports, 15 days, 1,500 athletes. Tickets are on sale now at all Ticketmaster locations. The Goodwill Games.
Uncompromising attention to detail, a renowned tradition of excellence, a magnificent waterfront setting, and reasonable rates. The choice is obvious. Coral House. The epitome of fine service is yours at Coral House, where your special occasion is arranged with impeccable quality. Coral House, where special moments become lasting memories.
Hey Jess, what's up? Everything's great here at Post.
Welcome to Post Wire.
Classes are actually pretty cool. Professors are interesting and I'm learning a lot.
Well, if we take the internet and time...
Started the co-op job I got through the Career Center. Great experience. And I get paid. Tons to do on campus, having a great time. I told you, you should have come to Post.
The choice is clear. CW Post, Long Island University.
Yurcak Field, Barry Landers, along with Bob Rules. We get ready for fourth quarter action. Not a surprise to some, but to many it is. Adelphi with a 13-2 lead. Bob, quick recap of the third quarter stats.
If you really look at the Adelphi and Post, you're talking about shots. Adelphi's got 32, Post 26. But quality shots we're really talking about, Barry. Post just has not had many quality shots. Saves, Fredericks has come up big, but he's been overwhelmed. I mean, most of the shots he's seeing are quality shots. He's got 13 saves, giving up 13 goals. That's 50%, far less than his
well, he had a great
68%
percentage, 68% coming in.
And ground balls are about even, but again, Adelphi has controlled all the important ground balls, the important possessions they've done. Great job on man down. Great defense in terms of one-on-one defense, backing up. They've done everything right today.
Absolutely. Kalesa that time stopping Jankow. And again, Adelphi coming up big in goal and starting a transition.
Post has never gotten going. Their offense was never fluid today, and they just couldn't get things going.
Flaherty up top. 1 minute gone here in the fourth quarter. And the Adelphi Panthers, who lost 3 games this year, try to avenge the loss of one of those games to this fine CW Post team. They lost earlier this year to Hartwick 10-9, and then lost to Salisbury State and Post back-to-back.
You know, Barry, I knew they were good when they beat Nazareth. I mean, Nazareth is a Division II power. I think they've won the championship last 2 years. Lost today to Washington College, a good school. But still, you knew they had to be good to beat a school like Nazareth.
No, there's no question about it. Bob, people wonder now, the Division III schools have beaten the Division II schools, and yet Division III apparently doesn't give scholarships. Division II is able to give some. Why would Division III schools be able to do that in lacrosse?
Well, with Division III, when you look at it, Division III, they made an option to say, look, we want to be able to compete on a level playing field. So we're not going to allow scholarships to be given. Schools like Williams and Amherst are schools like that. Now, the Ivy Leagues opt to play in Division I, even though they don't give scholarships, they feel they're well-known and big enough to attract good players, despite the fact they can't give them money. Division II gives less scholarships. They're kind of in between Division I and Division III.
Well, we've had an outstanding effort by Adelphi, and the Pioneers trying to get going. Kelly picking up that loose ball, getting a shot off, and a stop made by Kalesa. Scramble for that ball, and Adelphi trying to come up with it. 42 is Mark Reeves. Again, they find the open man beautifully.
No, Mark Reeves, it dodges through 3 or 4 guys with that long stick. Miraculously keeps the ball on the stick. Then he made a good pass, actually, to a wide open defensive player.
Fagan trying to force it on the crease. Loose scramble for the ball. And picked up by the Pioneers. Bouncing off the check is Babb. Good job by Babb to bounce off the check. And continues downfield.
That was an example. Kalesa, the ball was a big scramble. He put his stick down. The guy took a fairly weak shot, rolled right into his stick, and he's on his way. Fredericks did that twice. And got, or 4 times, really, got beaten off the crease by the Adelphi people just being more aggressive.
Well, Adelphi could take some time off the clock. They lead by 11, an amazing difference. And once again, let's check in with our Jimmy Cavallo as we get a shot from in close and a good save that time by Fredericks. Jimmy?
Well, gentlemen, in the Adelphi huddle in between the third and the fourth quarter, head coach Sandy Capitos, just what you might think with an 11-goal lead. He said, gentlemen, let's just use our heads. Nobody on this sideline is tired. We're 15 minutes from a national championship. Just go out there and get it. He did stress to his midfielders, you guys just play some defense. Stay away from penalties. Don't give up any fouls. And guys, the championship is yours. Back upstairs to Barry.
If I was the coach, I'd be saying the same things. You know, I would say if you have a shot, a good shot, take it, but don't try to force the ball.
Well, not forcing it, but scoring is James Maselli with his 3rd goal of the second half, and it ups the lead to an embarrassing 14-2 margin. And right now, it's all Adelphi. They scored 7 goals to start this game. Post came back with 2, and they've scored another 7 straight.
Again, a good play by James Maselli is he comes around real hard, splits 2 defensemen, and puts the ball in. But watch, he splits 2 defensive players, comes around, and takes a good hard shot. Never put down, if you saw that, never put down on the ground, which is really what you want to do. Attackman should pay the price when he comes around and takes a shot.
Well, Maselli's 3rd goal of the game, 31st of the year for the good-looking junior who'll be back next year. And a lot of these players will be back for Adelphi. They will lose the brilliant Mark Mangan, who's going to be playing in the World Games. And Bob, that's going to be played in Baltimore this year. And around that same time, I know you were very excited as they finally break the schneid there and score the goal. Number 42 scoring at that time was Ernie Thompson, the sophomore midfielder out of Farmingdale High School. And that breaks the 7-goal run.
I call it the matter-of-fact goal. He ran down, he had a little opening, beat his man, and shot high to the left side. Good shot, good goal.
Ernie Thompson gets on the board with only his 4th of the year. Had a goal against Adelphi the first time they played. But, Bob, I was going to mention your induction into the Hall of Fame down in Baltimore. I know you're excited about that.
Very, and it's great because they're doing it during the World Games. They usually do it during the North-South game, but they're going to do it in July this year, so it's wonderful. It's quite an honor.
World Games are going to be terrific this year. I mean, the U.S. team, there's so many outstanding players. And there will be some college players playing. Bill Tierney is one of the coaches this year.
And he's got 2 college guys. There's on his team Hubbard and from Princeton, and also Casey Powell from Syracuse. So there are 2 college guys on the roster.
So right now, Adelphi, after giving up that goal, Mark Mangan working it behind. 10:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule. Hope you've enjoyed the action. I want to thank the Coral House, one of our sponsors of today's game. Beautiful Coral House in Baldwin, where you can have your next catered affair on the waterfront.
You just saw the referees put their hands up, which means keep it in. Now what that means is there's a box out there. The NCAA sign logos kind of delineate what the box is, that rectangle. When the referees put their hands up, that means they're afraid that Adelphi is stalling, and they've got to keep in the box. If it goes out of the box, they will lose possession of it.
And Adelphi battling for that ball, going down hard. Flaherty. Big hits, bodies go flying, and we're going to get some penalties. Officials stepping in. Cooler heads prevailing right now, and number 20 over there for the Post Pioneers, who was involved in the middle of the thing, Todd Postel, who lost about 25 pounds, his dad was telling me. He came back in great shape. He plays as a defensive midfielder. And let's take a look at the Division II All-American team there, Bob.
Well, it's not a surprise with Mark Mangan, Anthony Picone. You look around and you see how, look at the defense. You've got David Kelly from CW Post. You've got Vin Fredericks from CW Post, and you've got Dan DeBetta from Adelphi. So Adelphi and Post are really kind of dominating the All-Americans in Division II.
You know, what has to really hurt Tommy Postel, he has built this team around strong defense, although he was a great offensive player, we might add, in the 70s.
Right.
But he's built this team around a great defense, yet here's a defense being blitzed here for 14 goals when they've only giving up the nation's lowest coming in, just a shade over 7 goals a game.
Well, again, there are games, as a coach I know it, as a player I know it, there are games where nothing goes right, and this is what happened with Post today. It started with Bacone winning those faceoffs very quickly, coming down, scoring a couple goals, and setting the tone for the whole game. That's basically what's happened today. Post has played everything. Everything's worked out for, rather, Adelphi perfectly, and nothing's worked for Post.
Both Postel and DeBetta in the box, one for illegal hit and the other for slash. So you saw that last shot. Now fast break opportunity for the Pioneers as they get in tight, and they score once again to add a little bit to their total.
Well,
and again, it was Ernie Thompson coming up with the goal.
And Ernie was almost a carbon copy of the last goal. Nobody really is stepping up and doubling on him. That was the problem. He's getting a free shot really in the front of the goal. Now watch Ernie come down. Nobody really picks him up, or he drives through their checks. He gets a good screen from the defender and really just puts it by Kalesa. It was a good shot, a good play, but nobody really picked him up.
And I think we got another penalty also. It's going to go on the Adelphi Panthers, number 27, Shane Dorfman, for slashing.
That happens a lot of times, Barry, when a man is running at you and you don't move your feet backwards like a defensive back in football. As a guy goes by, you get one big whack at him and the officials will call it.
So we'll see what happens here. It'll be a man-up situation for the Pioneers. They've come back to make it a little more respectable. Luis Gonzalez will be back next year, super sophomore out of Sachem High School, and they've produced some great players.
Excellent, and there's a lot of guys from Sachem, from Long Island. I mean, this is, you want to talk about homegrown teams. You look at Adelphi, you look at CW Post. The interesting thing is you got a guy like Mangan from Australia, but that's the Gordon Purdy connection. Years ago, Adelphi had a player came from Australia, Gordon Purdy. And he writes back, says it's a nice place to go to school, and you bring more people over. That's what basically happened.
Good work down low. Gonzalez will finish as they score another goal to make it 14-5. The extra man goal scored by Luis Gonzalez. His second goal of the game, 16th of the year.
Well, you knew that Post was going to have a run. Their offensive players are just too good. I think it's a little too late and probably not enough, but nevertheless, you knew they're going to have a run. They've worked the ball around a little bit better this time. Now watch this. It's just really good ball movement. Looks to the side. He's got a good angle. He fakes high and goes low, and Greg is a little slow getting down. That's what a good attackman is taught to do. Fake high, get the goalie to get up high, then go low where the goalie has the least amount of padding. His stick is high, his trunk of his body's high, shoot down at his feet, and that's what happened now.
You know, Bob, I'm watching Kalesa play. He's very nimble for his size.
Yes, he is. Very mobile. He's a kid, I say, he's built more like a linebacker, and yet he's very nimble.
Does a good job on the low shots. Here's Picone looking for number 3. Gets inside. Oh, Frederick's knocked down by that shot. We get a flag on the play.
Well, I think the officials now, too, are looking to make sure the game doesn't get chippy. And Post people are frustrated. Everybody's tired. They don't want to fight at the end, so they're playing the game really closely right now, or marking the game really closely.
So we did get another call made. And it will go against
a great save by
the
Fredericks.
Pioneers.
I'll tell you an interesting thing. Nobody ever asks a goalie where he should shoot the ball. Goalies are the ones who do shooting exhibitions or tell shooters where to shoot. That was off Frederick's hip on the right-hand side. You can't get your stick there. You can't move your stick. There's no part of your body that can get there. And what he did literally is to dive to the right side to make that save.
Mike Brzezinski, unnecessary roughness, number 18, called for the post penalty. And Adelphi, which has scored a man-up goal, 2 man-up goals, will have another chance here. Number 19 is Christian Newer, working on the man-up team. Brendan Ross, 26, out there. Low shot by Flaherty, and he gets another goal. So Charlie Flaherty with the man-up goal, his second extra man goal, makes it 15-5.
And the assist goes to Picone. Anthony Picone found Flaherty on the weak side, threaded the ball through the zone, got it to him, bang.
So Charlie Flaherty, who's got that hard shot, a little unorthodox, drops his stick a little bit.
Well, if he's got time, that shot comes at you with such velocity, that's hard for a goalie to move. and he's had time the last couple of times he's went to shoot. If you're a goalie, you end up back on your heels because there's so much velocity in that shot. Very tough to move.
11 goals in his last 4 games. Back they come with the shot by Todd Bolognese.
And see, there's a little mistake. You just saw Greg Kalesa picks the ball up. Kalesa is the man back there. There was no CW post attackman behind the goal when the ball went out of bounds.
So Kalesa will easily clear it upfield with 7:45 to go as we approach the halfway mark in this fourth quarter. And that's the time remaining in this fourth quarter. The time remaining for the chances for the Adelphi Panthers to walk away with another national championship. They won it in 93, 95, and on their way to winning it in 98.
Decisively winning it today, Barry.
No question about it. Adelphi with the ball. Saccone, who had a goal earlier, number 15, doing a good job protecting the ball.
Yeah, he's from Port Washington, where I live now, so I'm happy for him.
They've had good teams over the years.
Very good. They've got a couple players. A guy who started Syracuse was from there.
So now, working it around. Brad Ross, who was a very big factor early in the game with a couple of early goals, number 26. Only his 8th and 9th goals of the year. The Australian youngster playing on that first midfield. And here's Mangan, speaking of Australians, knocked down by Vinnie Fredericks.
Nice play by Fredericks. He went down quickly because he knew Mangan's move, coming around and shooting low, and Mangan shot right into his stick.
Panthers again pick up another ground ball. Vislaki. And a flag away from the play here.
They're getting a little chippy out there.
Yep.
I think they're getting a little frustrated. Again, the refs are smart. Blow the whistle quick so nothing gets out of hand. I don't like the Yankees.
So we'll get a 1-minute penalty coming up here against the Adelphi Panthers.
See, Barry, we don't want lacrosse to end up like baseball. You know, all these fist fights and guys running around and doing stuff like that.
No, we don't. Mark Mangan.
It's a gentleman's game.
Mark Mangan is a guy that's had a lot of penalties. He had 16 penalties this year for an attackman.
I watch him. He wields that stick like a tomahawk. I'm not quite sure.
Now
what
tell
he's
me
trying
about
to
the
do.
Australian style of play,
Well,
Bob.
you know, it's similar. I often say the foreign teams, I hate to say this, but the foreign teams.
All right, Bob, we'll pick that up in a moment. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back. You're watching NCAA Lacrosse.
Hey, Jess, what's up? Everything's great here at Post.
Welcome to Post Wire.
Classes are actually pretty cool. Professors are interesting, and I'm learning a lot.
Well, if we take the internet and time.
Started the co-op job I got through the Career Center. Great experience. And I get paid. Tons to do on campus. Having a great time. I told you, you should have come to Post.
The choice is clear. CW Post, Long Island University.
The Goodwill Games are coming to New York July 19th through August 2nd. Come out and see the world's best athletes compete on the world's biggest stage. 15 sports, 15 days, 1,500 athletes. Tickets are on sale now at all Ticketmaster locations. The Goodwill Games.
Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. Yeah, my teachers and career counselors are great. They even send me email. Mom, the whole campus is wired. Yeah, we've got championship NCAA teams. No, I'm not lonely. There's a lot to do here. Rick and I were just going out to shoot some hoops before dinner. Yeah, the food's good. You're making lasagna? You got enough for both of us? We'll be right over.
Adelphi. Stay close, go far.
Come on down to Olympic Den at 676 Dover Avenue in Franklin Square, one of Long Island's largest lacrosse suppliers for 22 years. Choose from our large lacrosse inventory, including Bryant, STX, De Beer, Warrior, and sport helmets. We carry cascades, lacrosse heads, shafts, including alloy shafts, composite shafts, and titanium shafts. You can also come and design your own personal custom lacrosse stick. Choose from a wide selection of shorts. Olympic Den also features the Clear Edge, Edge 2, and F22 shafts. Olympic Den, located at 676 Dover Avenue, Franklin Square. 516-486-0975.
And we're back here at Rutgers.
And I was going to make a point, Barry, about Mangan and these guys right here. Oh,
And we want to remind you folks that today's games are being brought to you by the Goodwill Games, coming to Long Island in July. By A.G. Edwards. By the Coral House in beautiful Baldwin Harbor. For your next catered affair, by Olympic Den. By Lacrosse Unlimited. And we're back to the action here as the Post Pioneers trying to make it more respectable. Get a close-in shot by Joe Fuccello. Easily handled by Kalesa.
nice pass. Really should have been caught.
And with down to 6:05 to go, we still have a man in the box.
Now, interesting, you cannot interfere with the goalie when you throw the ball. And basically what Greg Kalesa did then is throw right through an attackman who got a piece of his stick. And as soon as he did that, it's an automatic clear. That's what happened then.
Apparently the team's all even, so Adelphi 6-on-6 getting a fast break opportunity, and they bury it once again. So they've been able to take advantage. Flaherty coming up with another goal.
Well, Post has got to take some chances. They want to try to put the ball in the goal, the other end. So what's happening is their defense is suffering a little bit, and they left the man wide open. Flaherty's wide open, comes down. Watch this. He catches it on the run. Good pass. He's got no one in front of him. He drops the stick real quick and shoots low and beats Fredericks on a good shot.
So Flaherty has 3. And taking a quick check of the scoring, Flaherty with 3, Picone with 2, Ross with 2, Maselli with 3, Mangan with 2. So here's their leading goal scorer, Mangan, who had, 42 coming in. He has just 2 today, and his team has 16.
He had 2 and 3, I think, in the last game also. I mean, he's a good player, and it shows you the balance that Adelphi has, which is what you want. Now, I was saying about Mangan before, about the teams, the international teams. Most of them play club, not college and high school. So what happens is they only practice 2 or 3 times a week. And that's a huge difference than the American players who play 6 days a week. That's why I always think that the international teams, the foreign teams, have a tough time beating the United States.
Baba, we see some players come from Australia. Are we going to see more players come from international?
Well, certainly the Canadians come down and play and do a fine job. We haven't seen as many lately as I thought we would see. And people like Australia, like Gordon Purdy's their little connection there, and a guy like Mangan goes back and says, look, it's a nice place to go to school. It's a nice place to live. They can give you some money maybe. Why don't you try it? So I see more players like that coming in.
Well, Flaherty looking for number 4. We'll get it right here. So adding a little insult to injury, Charlie Flaherty with his 26th goal of the year. He's had 12 goals in the last 4 games.
And I think now with the 17-5 lead, you'll see Sandy Capitos, you might see him start to take some of the seniors and give them a chance to play in this ball game.
He was a first-team All-American last year with moves like
his
this.
Flaherty, look at this. I mean, just powers by the player. And this time, he takes a good overhand shot by Fredericks, who didn't have much of a chance.
Now, Bob, you've been a goalie and you played on a great Cornell team. We're a national championship Division I. What's going through the mind of Vinnie Fredericks? You're the number 1 goalie in the country in your division. You're giving up only 6 goals a game. Your save percentage is 68% coming in. You look up in the national championship and see 17 against you.
You know something? You're numb. You really are. You don't know what to do. It's like, it would be like Loyola in that semifinal match. You are just frankly numb. You don't know what happened. I've been in games like this, not in championship games, but occasionally in games where just nothing goes right for you. Nothing. The ball looks like a P. Every bounce goes to the other team, and that's what's happening today to Post. It's unfortunate. It's a championship game. I almost wish it was reversed. I wish that early on, Adelphi had beaten them badly, and they came in and played a 9-8 game for the championship.
You know, Post finished so strong. They beat New York Tech decisively late in the year in a game that they had to win.
But it was funny. That was a lot closer to the appear because Fredericks was so outstanding. He had 21 saves, only gave up 3 goals. That's the best I ever did. The best in my career was 21 saves and 3 goals against Brown in 1971. So, I mean, that's in lacrosse. That's great because that goal is 6x6. They can shoot from anywhere, feed from behind. A percentage of 60 or over is excellent, but very rare you're going to get over 70%.
Well, Bob, I'll tell you, the most outstanding effort I've saw by a goalie in many years was the Hobart goalie against Virginia. We televised that game a few weeks back.
But here's an example right here. 20 saves the first half, and he still ended up giving up, 16 goals?
Right.
I mean, this is lacrosse. It's not hockey where a goalie can single-handedly make 44 saves and give him a goal like a Hasek, the guy up at Buffalo. It just doesn't happen.
I want to thank the folks here at Rutgers for just a super job in hosting the NCAA tournament this year, the Final Four weekend. Congratulations to the winners of Division III, Washington College in Maryland. They finally broke the schneid, so to speak, against a great Nazareth team that beaten them 2 years in a row. And, of course, the National Championship Division I tomorrow, Maryland going up against Princeton, a rematch of last year.
Yeah, and I think that's 11 o'clock ESPN. That will be a fantastic game. You want me to pick a team? Maryland by 4.
Well,
go with Maryland.
Princeton got a big injury to their star defender.
And I have players on both teams, Spencer Barger at Princeton and Kevin Healy at Maryland. But I do think that injury is going to take a real toll for Princeton. And especially on a warm day, I think Maryland's depth is going to make a little bit of a difference.
We're seeing some great Long Island lacrosse players out there today. Want to compliment John Danowski and the Hofstra program. They had a great season. We're going to get a goaltending change right here for CW Post as Vinnie Fredericks gets a hand from the Post fans as he heads to the sidelines and is replaced right now by Dan Eggerman, the senior from Walt Whitman High School out of Huntington.
And I like that. That's a class play by Tom to let a senior play in the national championship game. And Vinnie Fredericks, he'll be remembered not for this game, but for the great seasons he's had.
And he's got another year coming back. He's only a junior out of Lindenhurst.
We'll give him something to shoot for next year.
I think Sal Locascio came out of Lindenhurst.
Sal was from Lindenhurst also. And a good friend of mine, Frank Smith, is the principal at Lindenhurst High School. Old Manhasset guy.
While we're passing out remarks, want to compliment and congratulate Alan Lowe, whose son got married last night, the great coach at Manhasset, former star at Maryland.
And I sat with Frank Smith, the principal of Lindenhurst, at the wedding last night.
Darren Lowe was the young man who got married, former player of the year at Brown. And of course, his brother wasn't too shabby either.
Kevin was one of the great players at Princeton when they were winning the championship early in the 90s. Darren is on the world team. He's one of the world attackmen who you'll see in Johns Hopkins if you go to the games.
Well, it's going to be great down in July, and Goodwill Games, of course, will be on Long Island. It's going to be a great summer. Great activities all over.
If we have weather like this, you just can't beat it.
Saccone will bring it out. Neuer, delayed penalty, and they'll finish again. Maselli getting the goal. That's his fourth. So Maselli off a nice feed from Neuer. Neuer showing some good passing ability.
Well, and Neuer was a real good attackman, really the fourth guy coming in, and he's done a great job today. But, you know, when you're like this, confidence is just so high. Watch, it's just a good pass, plenty of time to set up, no chance for the goaltender, and a flag because of the late hit.
That's his fourth of the game, 32nd of the season. And so Flaherty with 4 goals, I believe, and Maselli with 4. We'll check that, double check it. Have led the way here. 18 goals. Now the most goals given up by Post this year, taking a quick check of their schedule, they gave up 11 to St. Andrews.
And 11 to Nazareth.
And so lost 11-10 to Nazareth. So that really has to hurt him today. There is a slashing penalty on Scott Jankow. So down a man. They're trying to score. Let's check in down on the field. Let's go to Jimmy Cavallo right now.
You know, Barry and Bob, a couple moments ago, I had a chance to stand in the midst of the Adelphi fans and parents. What can you say? It's just relief for them. They started paying homage by chanting the names of all their favorite players. And, you know, when you look at this, only one player, Matty Ogier, as you guys have probably mentioned, from the 1995 championship. So this is a new experience for all these fans. Last 2 years, they've come into this title game with all the high hopes, only to fall short. But not the case today at Rutgers. Yes, sir, these fans, they're going to take home the 1998 championship. Back upstairs.
All right, Neuer throws it away. And, you know, there's a lot of excitement on the Adelphi campus. A new president is taking over, Dr. Goldstein, in just a few weeks. And, of course, they went through some tough times with the previous president. And I think people are really excited, not only of the success of their athletic teams, but there's a new feeling down on that campus.
I think we were talking about how the fact that their admissions are way up, their application. I think there's a lot more confidence now in Adelphi. They had some problems that were very public, and I think people kind of shied away from it. Those problems are now hopefully gone away.
And, of course, we're delighted to have both Vince Salamone and Bob Hartwell, the athletic directors, on our telecast. Thanks for their support and the fine support of both schools in making this telecast possible. Bob, it's been another fun afternoon.
Yeah. Great
We've
year,
got some great high school lacrosse coming up. And it'll continue at Hofstra with our next 5 lacrosse states in June. Nassau, Suffolk, Long Island. This year, the state championship.
State championship down here, June 13th. Not that I'm looking ahead, but
you're looking at that Comstock team. Not looking ahead past the.
No.
How does your Manhasset team shape up going into the run now of the playoffs?
I think we're good, but in the playoffs, it's a hot team, a hot goalie. You never know. We've got a couple of tough games with Cold Spring Harbor coming up, and you just never know what's going to happen. We just hope we'll be there.
All right, so they'll look to clear right now. Eggerman, the senior goalie, got it upfield. Scramble for that ball. And while we're handing out thanks to the sports information directors of both schools have done an excellent job in helping us get ready for these games. And just fun that we were able to be here, Bob, to bring this national championship back to Long Island. There are so many young Long Island lacrosse players, I'm sure, watching tonight.
Sure, and I want to kudos to Barry Landers, who really is the man who comes along and gets the money for this and does all the hard work to get these games on TV for you people out there to watch. That really Barry is the man in this case, and I want everybody to know that, Barry.
Appreciate that, Bob. We're down to the final minute. The Adelphi fans are delighted. They're up on their feet. The Post Pioneers looking to get one more on the board. Kalesa coming up with the save. 40 seconds to go. No quit on either team right now, but the Adelphi Panthers going to win another national championship. This was their 4th straight appearance. They had lost the last 2 in a row to Post and Tech, and we're down to the final 25 seconds. And they'll work it behind right here. Loyan Kano. Loyan Kano drawing a penalty, got it up top, bounce shot, and they'll score. Let's see if they'll wipe the penalty out. Mike Faracini, a sophomore from West Islip, with the goal, number 4.
Well, Barry, unless they score 2 goals a second for the next 13 seconds, they're hurting a little bit. But, hey, both teams, great seasons. That's what you got to look at. They've both had wonderful seasons. It's unfortunate Post didn't go their way, but it's nice to get to this game. You want to be a chance to play in the championship. They both got their chances. What more can you ask for?
Absolutely. Farinassi unassisted, and part of the crowd remaining on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon here at Rutgers. And Bob might add in the closing seconds the NICAC conference with the 6 Long Island schools playing. The level of play has improved dramatically.
Dramatically, and with colleges costing so much money, that kids are looking now to stay at home. It's a little bit more reasonable expense-wise.
All right, coming right down to the wire. The ball will be down to
there's where, and I like Kalesa because he's very, very aggressive. He came out there and really checked the attackman's hands. Ball goes out of bounds. Adelphi gets it. Just hold on to the end of the game.
And that will do it. The Adelphi Panthers are the 1998 Division II national champions, and they did it with a convincing, thorough shellacking of a game arch rival, the CW Post Pioneers, as they win it 18-6.
Barry, from end to end, they dominated. That's all you can say, really. Defensively, offensively, they won face-offs, ground balls, you name it. Adelphi came up big today. That's all you can say. Goaltending, Kalesa played a terrific game.
Well, the Panthers are the champions as they wind up their season 12-3, and Sandy Capitos, who's had a great record, wins his 43rd game, and probably none more important than this one.
None sweeter, especially after the loss early in the year where they were ahead by a couple goals. A fluke goal tied it up, and then an attack when they hadn't really scored all year wins it for Post. So this is kind of a revenge thing for them also, to beat Post after they've beaten them early in the year.
Flaherty and Maselli led with 4 goals apiece. That's the story. We'll be back with our post-game recap in a moment. You've been watching Championship NCAA Lacrosse.
We're Shamrock Lacrosse, the new kid on the block. We make the latest and greatest equipment. Our men's lacrosse stick, the Rock, has a radical wing design that channels the ball from pinpoint accuracy and creates the deepest legal pocket in lacrosse. Our new products are Pro Shaft, a carbon-fortified wood shaft, and the Rule Pad, a multi-flex arm pad system. Shamrock's women's stick, the Rocket, is the new revolutionary design that is taking the women's game by storm. Approved by the USWLA. Look for the Shamrock in your store.
Come on down to Olympic Den at 676 Dogood Avenue in Franklin Square, one of Long Island's largest lacrosse suppliers for 22 years. Choose from our large lacrosse inventory, including Bryant, STX, De Beer, Warrior, and sport helmets. We carry cascades, lacrosse heads, shafts, including alloy shafts, composite shafts, and titanium shafts. You can also come and design your own personal custom lacrosse stick. Choose from a wide selection of shorts. Olympic Den also features the Clear Edge, Edge 2, and F22 shafts. Olympic Den, located at 676 Dogood Avenue, Franklin Square. 516-486-0975.
I've been thinking about it for a long time.
I knew earning a master's would help my career.
With a job, my family, how could I finish college?
I barely had time for myself.
CW Post offered me the intelligent solution.
Excellent academics, flexible schedules.
Designed for people with busy lives.
Classes are small, and the professors really know me.
It's the education I've always wanted.
I'm glad I came to Post.
The choice is clear. CW Post, Long Island University.
Uncompromising attention to detail, a renowned tradition of excellence, a magnificent waterfront setting, and reasonable rates. The choice is obvious. Coral House. The epitome of fine service is yours at Coral House, where your special occasion is arranged with impeccable quality. Coral House, where special moments become lasting memories.
And back on the field at Rutgers as Adelphi has won their 5th national championship. A big-time 18-6 win, a couple of the prime-time players of the game. First and foremost, Anthony Picone. What more can you say? NICAC Player of the Year. You come into this national championship. You lost this game last year. Redemption?
Redemption is the key word here. We knew we had to come out and play hard. Ground balls were the main ingredient to this win. We came out, went on a 7-0 run, and from there on in, that's the way it was.
When you look at the first time you guys played them, boy, it was a reversal of fortunes this time. You guys just absolutely dominated them, whereas the first game was close to the net, very tight ball game. This game, you guys scored the first 7 goals in the first half. You scored the first 7 goals in the second half. This one was over in a hurry.
Well, during the season, we know we let one get away, and we weren't going to let it happen again here in Rutgers.
And the Owls are happy tonight.
Yes,
Anthony, a Lynbrook native, Lynbrook High School, so
right.
You're bringing the national title home to Lynbrook. It's got to feel good.
Back to Long Island,
All right, the All-American candidate, Anthony, thank you. Let's get the other half of the big-time 1-2 punch, Mark Mangan. And Mark, you also were in this game last year and came up with a defeat, so you came into this game today. I'm sure you were focused. I'm sure you said to yourself, I want to feel a little different than I did last year, and boy, you did.
Yeah, we wanted a little revenge factor from last year, but, playing post was a completely different game than playing New York Tech, 2 different styles that they play, and I think we really played. This may have been our best game all year, and we really stepped it up. And going on a 7-0 run always helps at the start of the game.
You guys seem to be on a different level than them early on, just not even 1 step, but 2 steps ahead. Did you talk about that before this game, that you wanted to come out fast and hit them hard early?
We wanted to jump out to a nice, quick lead. Obviously, it's always a help. It wasn't really a big discussion. We just really figured that if we played our game and played how we should have in the first game, we would come out to a nice, big lead like that. 7-0 is incredible.
And you got the national championship bringing back home to the land on down under.
Yeah, bring it home. My dad was here today, so, it made his flight well worth it to come all that way, so it's awesome. Awesome feeling.
The All-American brought the national championship home. You follow us here. Good for that. Let's bring in the coach right now, Sandy.
Wet
and hey, wet and soggy, but I'm sure that's the kind of wet and soggy you want to feel.
It's a great way to be. Feel great right now. Words can't describe.
One of your players just mentioned it, Coach. You come into these games and you could use all the cliche. This is the biggest game of our lives. It's a one-shot deal. All the chips are on the table. You hope your team plays a big-time ball game. Boy, Sandy, I don't think you guys could have played better.
Yeah, I don't think we've played a better 4 quarters of lacrosse all year. We made it simple for the kids, being the last 3 years, being on the losing end and the winning end. We made it real simple for them. Whoever gets after ground balls, whoever plays the hardest, it seems to be the equation for victory, and we certainly did that today. I mean, we were all over every facet of the game. We outplayed them, I feel, in every facet of the game all over the field today.
Real good for the Adelphi fans. Made the trip down. You gave them a lot to cheer about.
Yeah, absolutely. We gave them a lot to cheer about. Proud of our kids.
All right,
Really
that's Sandy Capito's, his second title as the head coach of Adelphi. What an astounding victory it was. We'll send it back upstairs to Barry and Bob. Oh, check that. We'll send it to break. We're back with more right after this.
Lacrosse Unlimited, home of Long Island's all lacrosse stores. Come visit one of our 4 locations in East Meadow, Hauppauge, Huntington, and Manhasset. If you're looking for a lacrosse stick, come in and customize one to your specific needs. You design it and we'll create it in under 1 week. We carry the largest inventory of lacrosse equipment on Long Island. When it comes to lacrosse fashion, Lacrosse Unlimited stocks the most complete selection of shorts, shirts, hats, and sportswear. Nobody services the lacrosse community like Lacrosse Unlimited.
You decided on a college. I know we talked about it, but you made your decision so fast. You know, your mother was hoping you'd pick a school that's small and close to home, where you're not just another number, with teachers that really care about you. And what about your soccer? Do they have a good team? And of course, we want you to get a solid education. So, have you found a school like that?
Sure did.
Adelphi. Stay close, go far.
E-Lacrosse Rage on the Cage is the ultimate lacrosse highlight experience. Scoop one up at the E-Lacrosse website or at finer lacrosse stores like Great Atlantic, Blacks World, Commonwealth Lacrosse, and Lacrosse Unlimited on the island.
Hi, I'm Mike Cordy. 1976, I came to Long Island to play with the New York Islanders. I used to use this stick to take care of business on the ice. Now that I've traded in my hockey stick for lacrosse stick, I'm having a lot of fun coaching my daughter's team here on Long Island. When I'm not on the playing field, I'm here at my office at A.G. Edwards, keeping up with the latest stock quotes and market trends. We may not be the largest firm on Long Island, but we're committed to serving our clients and the Huntington community. For investment advice, call me at 516-427-3100. A.G. Edwards.
Back at Rutgers, Barry Landers along with Bob Rule. Well, the sun's setting. And Bob, we saw a terrific effort by Adelphi. They really set the tone very early in this game.
Well, I think Sandy Capitos, the coach, summed it up. He said, we have never played 4 quarters of lacrosse like we played today. It was perfection. Defense dominated, goaltending dominated, offensively they dominated. They just never gave Post a chance to get into the ball game.
Well, we said the hungriest team would probably win it. We didn't know how hungry Adelphi would be today, winning by 12 goals. That's astonishing.
Well, if you look back, they lost 9-8 early in the season, but they felt they should have won. They were up by 2 with just a couple of minutes to go, and they lost almost on a freak goal that tied it up. So they were looking for revenge. They had lost last year. They wanted to win this championship, and they came out with Anthony Picone right on down, playing the strongest games of the year for all the players.
And a tough way to end for Tommy Postel. He had a great season, a great team, and this Post team looks like it's going to be great in the next few years.
Well, if you look at them, they're young kids, and look, they've got something to shoot for next year. Vin Fredericks, who was the best goalie in Division II this year, not a great game today, but he was under a lot of pressure. He's got something to shoot for now as a senior.
Bob, again, a pleasure working with you. National championship rights, bragging rights for Long Island go to Adelphi. So for Bob Rule and all our crew, including Jimmy Cavallo and our producer-director Jim Houston, this is Barry Landers saying so long from Rutgers Stadium, and thanks for watching NCAA Lacrosse.